Hey everybody, welcome to stream. Hope you're all doing well, and we're back with some more Regice hunting. I know I wasn't really clear yesterday whether or not I was going to stream or not today. I didn't actually know, so yeah, today's probably going to be a very short stream actually. I'm expecting that I'm going to do, well, I say short, it'll be about average I guess, and not really anything over, but yeah. Today is going to be just me playing for a little while, try to get this Regice, and then we're done. So, yeah, we'll do about 200 encounters like usual. Did a little bit of stuff offline, not really anything big. Hey, everybody, how are y'all doing? Hopefully good. I have yet to do anything for my Christmas time yet. We're supposed to be meeting up at my parents' house later today, actually, and then eating supper, at least. Well, I guess this is going to be me and them right now because we can't go out and travel any, so yeah, not the most exciting Christmas. Open some presents, it'll be whatever. How's everyone's Christmas gone? Mine's been not the greatest. It's been okay. Nothing I'd say is super special, though. Just a decent Christmas time, and things have gone alright, I guess. I'm actually not all too sure what I wanted to talk about today, because I kind of felt like I was putting a little bit of pressure on myself and come on and stream in time for this because I wanted to stream and continue and trying to get this shiny hunt over, so yeah. You have to give me just a moment or two. Not been doing much of interest anyway right now. I mean, mostly been checking online for like anything neat, browsed Reddit a little bit. There is one thing I want to talk about in a minute we'll talk about. Thought it'd be a fun topic. I guess I've got one thing I can bring up on my mind. I wonder, like, I've been looking online about the whole stimulus check thing that's going on with the stimulus checks in January. I can't find out if there's, like, an exact amount that's, like, supposed to be given out in January. I think it's, like, I've heard, like, varying reports say $600 and some say, like, a little over that. Apparently the push to try and get it to $2,000 wasn't successful. I honestly am trying to like think on what I want to buy with it. I don't know if I'm gonna bother or not, but I've thought about getting like a VR headset and buying like Valve Index. I've actually wanted to try doing VR streams or whatever for a while now. Just never really had the time or the interest to set it all up, and also I think I've told you guys that I've had a previous not so great experience with VR before trying to work with like an Oculus, and it didn't really work well, and I got one of the early Oculuses and I couldn't get the lens to work. I'm a little bit worried about that and like motion sickness being a problem. And VR is really cool too, and I want to get it because I feel like if I get it to work right, then it'd be really neat and something that I would probably enjoy using. I just don't want to throw my money down for something I may not get any use out of. That's the problem. I don't know. There's a lot of good-looking VR games out there, though. Half-Life Alyx is, like, probably the best-looking one on the market. Anybody here actually played VR any or used it any? I'm just curious, like, had any experiences with it? Anybody in chat? I know a few friends who definitely used it, and they swear by how good it is. Like I said, I've had one attempt to use VR, and it didn't really work out well, so yeah, I can't really claim or talk about how good VR is myself. I'd like to give it a shot again, though, and see if maybe I did something wrong the first time I was trying to use VR. There's like several different VR headsets out there now, too. I guess you could technically count that Labo VR thing. I don't know if I would. Come to think of it, I wonder if the Nintendo Labo has been, like, discontinued. I haven't really been going out in stores very much to look for them or check anything, because I don't really care too much. And I got the third kit, but I never really got the robot kit or the, like, VR kit. And I remember reading on Reddit that somebody went into like a Walmart and they talked about they couldn't find it and were wondering if it was discontinued. I guess it wasn't very successful. I'm not surprised that it isn't, though. It's kind of a very niche kind of product. It's cool, though, but yeah, I don't know. Okay, since we went on about VR, I'm going to talk about it more in a little bit later, maybe. But, like, has anybody here actually used the Labo stuff any, or is it mostly just me and, I don't know, maybe there are some others on here that have actually saw, like, Labo stuff and actually used it some. I gotta say, the DIY part of the Labo stuff is actually a little bit frustrating. It's not terrible, but it takes forever to go through and put everything together, and then if you mess up on a step, you have to go back and, like, fix the things you messed up on. And I feel like every Labo project I did, like, it felt like it took a while to get all the parts in the right order, get everything where it needed to go, and then usually there'd be at least one area maybe where something wasn't in right, and I had to go back and, like, fix it up, and it took a lot of time to get it all working correctly. It was a neat experience, but it took forever. I like the concept behind it. It's a shame it's not a very good value in my opinion. I know some people love it and might want to battle me over this. Like, I personally don't think the hours invested into making those was worth the time or the money. If it was easier and cheaper, it'd be another matter altogether. Hey Wayne, good to see you. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, Merry Christmas. I think I said it earlier on stream too, but good to see you, Wayne. Glad you could make it. Gonna be streaming for a little bit before I end up going and doing my Christmas stuff and going down to my parents' place to eat supper. I figured I'd be playing this a little while and trying to get this shiny, hopefully. Oh boy. Hungry. I mean, I'm not that hungry. I had some food recently, but I won't lie, this month has been actually really lame for me. I can tell you guys about some of that. Like, I told you about how I've been saving up for a new phone, and as a result, I've been putting back a lot of my money to not spend too much, even though I've had to, like, take out quite a bit and get a few necessities, but, like, I've had to get, like, extra food and, like, got a bunch of ramen that I could eat, and I'm not going to lie, even though I don't hate it, eating ramen in, like, multiple meals throughout, like, a month is not very filling or exciting. It feels kind of just, I don't know how to describe it. It's honestly just kind of like getting sick of the taste a little bit, because it feels like it's a little samey eating ramen all the time. I don't know. I've only eaten it for like so many meals in a row. I eventually had to go down and get TV dinners because I couldn't handle eating ramen only and nothing but ramen. I think I would have actually just lost my mind if I kept eating it. I've been more careful about what I've been eating, though, this month. Also, yeah, I can't have food through the internet. That'd be weird. That'd be an interesting thing, like, concept if that was a thing. I wouldn't be surprised if we get some fucking crazy technology over the years, though. Seems like things have been developing very rapidly. Too bad this virus is fucking up everyday life, and I think most of our normal progression in society is being halted by that. Is everything okay in the chat? I saw your messages, and then it just not showing any more messages, and it's not letting me know if there's anybody here or not. I don't know if there was a disconnect, or if there was something else, or if there really is nothing going on in the chat, because I don't know why it would suddenly stop the stream of messages unless something happened, like an internet issue. I don't know, whatever. I'll just keep going on, even though I genuinely am a little confused what happened there. I'm assuming, oh wait, okay, I guess you're still here. Just checking, because I couldn't see any messages on here, and I couldn't see, like, any sign that the chat room was still active. Let me see. Got a $200 eShop gift card through PS5. Still lost. Oh, that sucks. I hope you get your stuff soon, but I wouldn't be surprised if somebody stole it, since people are going crazy, like, buying them up and then trying to scalp them right now. It's gonna be really, really interesting once, like, the PlayStation 5 has been out for longer and, like, the supply situation gets better. Also, oh shit, are we getting frame rate issues? YouTube's telling me there's issues, but I don't know what to think right now. Error. I'm guessing it's okay. If it's really lagging, you guys can let me know if there's an issue. I think that's 316. I'm just going to count that as another encounter because I wasn't paying enough attention. Now you can buy games. I mean, it's pretty good that you've got like a card to buy some stuff off of the Sony store, but like, yeah, it may not do a whole lot of good if you don't actually have your PS5 yet. I mean, that would actually be kind of lame, getting a new console and then not having anything to play. I think that's part of the reason that I didn't buy Switch at launch. Everybody was like so hyped about like everything that was going to be on the Switch, but the offerings for Switch launch were absolutely not worth it. Like, there was Breath of the Wild, which is still available on the Wii U. There's also, let's see, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was not at launch either. They had that Bomberman 1-2 Switch. I don't remember all the games. There weren't anything crazy. I don't know. That's another good talking point, I think. Whether or not consoles are worth buying at launch. I bought a lot of consoles at launch, and I think my opinion has kind of changed over to I don't really care to. It depends on the offerings, though. It really does. I remember the Wii U launch really well, actually. It's a shame. The Wii U had a really, really strong launch, and then after everything just fell off. I'm not surprised that it did, though. That console is probably going to be remembered as one of the biggest flops in Nintendo's history. Still like mine, but ugh. If I would have known how many game droughts there would have been, I wouldn't have bought it. Why does it feel like... Actually, yeah, I'm thinking like right now, like, why does it feel like every big console release of the past decade has been, like, stuck with being, like, not a whole lot of, like, amazing stuff to pick from, or not a lot of, like, good options for new games. It's mostly just, like, 1 or 2 first-party games, and then, like, all third-party. Let me see. Should I go to your AC House of the Holidays? I have not played Animal Crossing in ages. I cannot get the, like, urge to go back to Animal Crossing. I see people play it and, like, mess around with it and, like, check out the new updates, and I'm just, like, busy with what I'm doing in Pokemon, playing some other stuff in my spare time, trying to get shiny hunts done, but I can't feel the motivation to go back. I mean, I think I got burned out really hard by playing it when it was new, and I'll be honest, I don't know if I'm alone in this boat or not. I feel like New Horizons kind of runs a little bit dry on content really quickly. The dialogue is not very diversified, or there's like a lot of different conversations you can have. After you play long enough, you'll start seeing the same repeating dialogue, and there's like only so many personality types, and they all basically have the same recycled lines, so if you get 2 villagers of the same personality type, then you end up seeing the same lines multiple times, and sometimes seeing the same thing said to you like multiple times in one day. It's like, I don't know. When you're first playing it, it feels more alive and more active. And then when you play it longer, it just kind of loses that feeling of like actually being a lot of fun. I applaud people who can still go for it and play it, though. Like, if you're able to power through and set your own objectives, more power to you. But I like having like a reason to play the game and feeling like I'm having a lot of fun. And I feel like once I got through with like most of the main stuff and like played long enough, I started seeing too much of repetition in the game to really enjoy it. I don't know, I guess it's just me. I've seen 200 hours and 900 hours, go figure. Yeah, I find it funny how people are like really quick to go and like argue about how good a game is and how like oh, you have to like this game if you have like so many hours in it, and it's like, that is so bullshit and so untrue. Like, it's not all hours based on like how much you like games. For something like Animal Crossing, I feel like for Animal Crossing, you're kind of in the scenario where if you play Animal Crossing, you're probably going to be playing for a minimum of 100 hours, probably up to 200 hours, just to like play the game the way it's intended to. It's not intended to be played in like small spurts. It's meant to be played like, get all your progress done, and you keep playing it like every day for each day of a month or whatever to keep playing. Like, that's a really, really stupid argument to use against. And it's like, oh, you like it a whole lot. It's like, well, Animal Crossing is like this by its very nature. Yeah, this game in particular has that exact problem. The shiny hunting is something I want to do, but I also am not particularly fond of this game itself. It's just that I do enjoy getting the shiny Pokemon. It's one thing I don't like about this game, especially though, is that they don't give you any easy or guaranteed way to get a shiny. You're literally just at the mercy of RNG the entire time you're playing it, and that's kind of just... I don't know, I don't love the fact the shiny factor is literally just pray to God you get lucky, otherwise you could be sitting here playing this game for God knows how long before your shiny pops up. It's not exactly the funnest experience in the world. Let's see, some people are fake. Let's find the villager. Yeah, I can sort of see that. I mean, I feel like with Animal Crossing, most people would probably just do what I've done, where they'd get like a sticker if they really wanted, like those villagers. Easier to get like than amiibo cards, and like use the NFC stickers to get your hands on specific characters. And then when it comes to like other stuff, I guess if you want one of the newer characters, you have to. But a lot of the fluff of like extra hours in Animal Crossing, I feel like, are just doing basic shit. Even just like grinding out and Nook Miles is like something that takes forever to pull off and not extremely worth it. Hold on a second. Okay, there we go. We're good. Spent 3 months looking for someone? Yikes. I don't know if I can bother with that. The trading economy in Animal Crossing is already like crazy enough as it is that I'd rather just like use tickets to get characters that I really want. And that's probably not something I do very often, but it's like, I don't see it as worthwhile to sit there and waste time island hopping and then not really get anything done in the game. It just doesn't feel satisfying. I think there's another thing I can throw in there that's another point against Animal Crossing. Give me a second. Throat's acting up a little bit. But yeah, if I had to make another big complaint, I do not like the item durability thing they introduced in Animal Crossing New Horizons. I think having durability on your tools was one of the worst changes they could have introduced. It does not add anything to the gameplay. If anything, having durability on the items kind of made it more frustrating to sit down and play the game. Couldn't get things done reliably. Your tools would break really, really easy. And then even if you got the gold DIY recipes, you'd probably find that, oh, what do you know, you can still break your tools because apparently the developers thought it'd be a good idea to keep golden tools like under this stupid durability system too. It's like, why? This doesn't help the gameplay. It just slows it down to a frustrating extent. I don't know if I'm alone in like seeing this when I look at games, especially from Nintendo, but like, it seems like Nintendo's put durability in a lot of games where it really doesn't need to be there. Like, Breath of the Wild, I can kind of understand it mixes up the gameplay a little bit, but as far as like Paper Mario, nah, they didn't need item durability. Also, the same with Animal Crossing. It's not a very useful feature, frankly. It's more annoying. And Breath of the Wild, new game, breaking. That's items. Yeah, I don't really blame you for not loving it. I don't mind it in Breath of the Wild. It keeps the combat fresh and keeps you on your toes a little bit. I've got to say, in Master Mode, I don't really love it, though, since your tools are, like, really goddamn quick to break, and you have to sit there and, like, be careful about every tool you're flipping through and make sure you're not going to waste it and then just have nothing to fight with. Even the Master Sword breaks, for crying out loud. That's something that's really annoying in my opinion. Yeah, Origami King has like special gear you can equip, like the way you had like, I guess they were like badges like in the older Paper Mario game technically, and when you use those in Origami King, they're all set by durability, so yeah, you have to use it, and if it use it too much, you break it. It's not a great system in my opinion. I don't really love that they put that in the game. I don't honestly know how I feel about that game anymore. I do find that it was fun overall, but like, the more I look back at Origami King, the more it's like, there's a lot of questionable decisions that are in this game, and it's like, why can't we just have old Paper Mario again? Why do we have to have intelligent systems like constantly shoving Paper Mario in like a new direction up our throats and not letting us have what we want? Why can't we just get a decent Paper Mario game that has the same gameplay as before and maybe has a new story, one that has a new storyline, new characters, has something that's fun? Why can't we just get what we actually like out of Paper Mario again? Why do we have to put up with this? I don't know. I don't feel like we're ever going to get a real response or get a real new Paper Mario game out of Nintendo. It's like they consider the old Paper Mario dead completely. Kind of sucks too, really enjoying Paper Mario and going and playing the newer ones, and they're just not the same. Color Splash, I still hate that game along with Sticker Star. I will at least say Origami King was a fun experience overall, even if I didn't really love it. You know, thinking on this topic actually, I get the bad impression that we might actually be seeing like the death of Mario RPGs right now. It's been too long since the last one. We haven't had anything since Mario and Luigi, and the fate of the series is like up in the air now. Paper Mario's dev team is hell-bent on making literally any Paper Mario that isn't an RPG, which that's something that's frustrating and really annoying, and I don't see any other venues for like another Mario RPG to pop up in unless they do something with like the original. Ugh, that's something that's a little depressing. Sorry, it's not a big deal. It's not your fault or anything. So instead, I'm just frustrated with Nintendo. Their whole decision making lately, they've had some really weird decisions. Honestly, they don't really understand what all they're doing with their like formatting, whether it be for video games or even their like, I guess, presentations. Like they're not doing proper directs anymore. It's like they don't know what they're trying to do with their content now, and they're like fumbling to get a new format. It's like, I feel like ever since Iwata's been dead, like they've definitely not had like a pure good grasp on how to handle their situation anymore, and it's starting to show more now than anything. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong about that, but I'm a little concerned about Nintendo. That's all I'm going to leave it at for that topic. I don't feel like I have a lot I wanted to say there. I'm worried they're not going to get things together. I feel like them trying to make a new change is probably unnecessary. Everybody likes the direct format. I don't see why we can't stick to that, and it feels like we're getting a lot of really weird experimental games all of a sudden. Ugh, give me a second. I'm feeling a little bit hot right now. My room is actually probably higher temperature than I wanted. I was feeling cold earlier, and now I need my heat on. I need to see my fan on. Lovely. What were we talking about earlier? I got sidetracked. I think I was talking about VR, actually. While we're on the topic of VR, anybody here actually bought like a VR headset or like any type of VR on the like a system they own right now? I haven't gotten like more than the one I told you guys back in the day. I've looked into the PlayStation VR a little bit. Don't think I care about it, and definitely not going to pick up Labo VR. I think I want to get an index at some point. Like I really, really want to try using the index and see what kind of games are on there, see what kind of cool stuff's out there. I think the only problem that comes with like VR is I'm not sure if there's like any good like major VR games out there. All I can name is like one of them in total. Yeah, PSVR. That's pretty cool. Actually, since you have a PlayStation 5 VR, you might actually be able to play like Half-Life Alyx off of Steam, although I don't know if you could use like, I don't know if you needed specific and like the Valve controllers, like the little controllers for the index to make it work, but I would imagine, yeah, you could probably play Half-Life Alyx on it, and I think that's PC exclusive, but it does look like a really good game, and I hear Half-Life Alyx is like probably the best VR game on the market right now, and probably like one of the best VR games made yet. Like Valve seems to know what they're doing with their VR stuff. I've got to admit, Valve has some pretty neat little projects out there. They're 2 Portal-based things they've released that are on like Steam you can download, and also there's Half-Life Alyx. I think the Portal Lab thing was like actually released alongside one of their other VR helmets. Maybe I'm misremembering. That other thing I mentioned is like 8 minutes long, and not very long at all, but it's pretty goofy and funny. I want to check out some of their stuff, which I want to check out VR in general at some point. Since some of you have had experience with VR, just like out of curiosity, what are your favorite games you've tried with it, if any, you can like think of? I hear horror games are very good with VR, like they're very, very immersive. I would imagine like anything that's in first person gives probably a very, very good like experience. I couldn't see it being quite the same with like doing a third person game. I don't know like a huge ton of VR games though. I can name like maybe 10 off the top of my head if I try that I can think of, and I've already listed like 3. There was that weird Duck Hunt clone somebody made on Steam. Like it's literally like a horror game version of Duck Hunt, which is weird as fuck. I think it's called Duck Season. I don't remember. Let's see. There's that. There's Budget Cuts. I know there's the Job Simulator games. I don't know how good those are, and probably a select handful of others that I am forgetting about. I just can't name like a whole bunch of them. Boneworks. Oh yeah, I think I remember that now. I think I heard hearing about that and I forgot that you mentioned that. Yeah, I've heard good things about Boneworks. It looks pretty good. Let me see. That's how VR really works. The combat and that's here the game. Sounds good. I mean, if I get a VR headset, I might have to look into it. I know they made actually. I get that word wrong. Excuse me. What I meant to say is, I know there was apparently a new Medal of Honor game that was released like at like the Game Awards. I've heard that's not very good and it's not very fun. I don't know how that looks. It looks really, really unprofessional though, from what I've seen out of like footage of it. And I think Medal of Honor's like a series been dead for a long time. A little weird they revived it with VR, and then it seems like they half-assed it because everybody's like yelling at them for making a bad one. I think, doesn't Activision have the right to that series? Because I think they made like Medal of Honor alongside Call of Duty, and I think now they've made this Medal of Honor VR thing that just got released. Excuse me. There was one other that I think I remembered. One other game I think I remembered that was VR that I heard good things about. I might be misremembering, but I remember hearing about something on Steam called like Hot Dogs, Horseshoes, and Hand Grenades, or maybe it's a different one. It was like it's a really weird game. You get to mess around with like guns and stuff and like explosives, test a bunch of stuff out in VR, which looks really cool. And there's like a bunch of game modes, and then you can play that have like little opponents, and they're all like weenies for some reason. It's really weird, but really neat looking. Very, very bizarre game, though. Skyrim VR. You age like shit. Yeah, I've heard Skyrim VR is not the absolute best. Tries this with the religion. Oh gosh, that sounds like awful. That sounds pretty bad. Ugh. Gosh, I think a lot of devs don't really put a lot of thought into their VR games they make. I don't know if I've heard anything good about the Doom VR they made either. Like, I know Bethesda got a Doom VR game up on Steam some time ago, and I haven't heard anything about it since then. I know there was some other thing for Wolfenstein too, but I've not heard much about them. Let me see. You see motion sickness due to its low res. Or get motion sickness otherwise. That's kind of lame. Probably just not very well done. Ugh, hold on a second. I need to move where I'm sitting. Ugh. What? Give me a second. I need to go mess with my thermometer, actually. Or not thermometer, you know what I'm trying to say, my like thermostat or whatever, and like change the AC temperature, because it's a little bit... It's weird. It's like getting hot and cold. I think I need to like lower the temperature a little bit. It'll probably help. I just need to fix my apartment's temperature up right now, because I'm not liking it very much. I'll be back in a second or two. Okay, I adjusted it. Hopefully we're good after that. Hopefully I'll feel a little bit better from putting the AC down where it's not so fucking hot all the time. Maybe that'll make things better. Anyway, where was I? Give me a second or two. There's a lot of cool looking stuff on VR. I think, oh yeah, I was talking about a project that I almost forgot about, like... Valve apparently was working on like a Portal VR for some time, and they scrapped it because it caused like motion sickness. I've got to be honest, even though it's probably like a good thing they scrapped it, I feel like I would have loved to have seen what they came up with for a Portal VR. Like, I'd love the idea of trying to play Portal in VR. It sounds like it'd be really, really fun. I enjoy the series a lot, and I don't know, something, it just looked like it'd be a good fit for it outside the obvious motion sickness problems. And both Portal 1 and Portal 2 are like really, really solid games. I can imagine how cool it'd be playing that type of game in VR. I don't want to experience vomiting from like heavy motion sickness either, though, so I don't know. Probably not a bad thing they decided to can it. Let me see. To buy the dual pack of Sword and Shield. Pikachu. Oh gosh. She really... I don't know why she wants that many Pokemon games. I would only want to get one or two maybe at most. If even that, I'd just settle for one Pokemon game. She gets all that. She's not going to even play it all probably. Yeah, I don't care about the Mystery Dungeon remake too much. I guess she wants it, whatever. I'd still stand by what I said before about how buying both Sword and Shield is a total waste of money. I don't know if anybody would listen about that, and I don't know if your sister would care, but it's like, there's literally one Pokemon in this game that you probably couldn't get properly if you tried, and that's just getting, like, the box art legendary. You'll get your version from your main version, then it might be hard to get your hands on like another one for getting the other box art legendary that you don't have. But outside of that, you can literally just take all your Pokemon you've got, and you can get like exclusives and then breed like your Pokemon and get like the forms you're missing too, or evolve when you need to at certain points. So it's not really hard to fill out the Pokédex or get Pokemon you want. It's a waste to buy both versions. I stand by that. Let me see. Okay, hold on a second. 300 form. Game Freak. I don't know if I... Yeah, that's not a very great way of looking at it. I don't know. The way I saw it and the way I worked this out, I didn't even really want this game. I've told you guys how bad I got to the point where I felt like I was peer pressured into the buying this, and I regretted it quite a bit. Like, even then I took into account like the idea of like, okay, which version is better if I'm actually going to buy this, and on top of that, which one will give me more to work with. And then looking at like everything that's like out there, it seemed like the logical choice to go with Pokemon Shield and get like access to all the Shield version exclusives. Everybody who's buying the game was pretty much out to get their hands on exclusive. Try and get it exclusive. They just wanted to get the Sword version. And whenever I look at like sales of this game in particular, I see more people who have Sword version than Shield version. I think there's like very few people who bought Shield version. You get like access to the exclusive that most people actually want if you get Shield version. Plus, you still get some pretty good stuff in this. I'd say this version just has quite a bit of stuff, and you're not going to have a shortage of people trying to trade to get your hands on Sword exclusives. If I had to like say which version I think is a better value, I would go for this just because the fact more people are going to want Pokemon from it, and you're not going to have trouble getting it. I wouldn't say it's a better value because they're pretty much the same exact game, but just exclusives. I don't feel like buying all that stuff is really worth it. Your sister sounds like the type of person who's going to like end up buying a whole bunch of games and then have a massive backlog of stuff she never even plays, to be honest. I know because that's the kind of thing that happened to me a lot when I was younger. I would get a lot of games, and then there were a lot of games that I would play a little bit of, and then I would put them down, and I would never actually finish them. It's not an easy habit to break, either. I'll be honest when I, like, talk about this, too. I don't feel like having a gaming backlog is very healthy. Obviously, you can, like, manage it at some point. It's pretty easy to get through, like, the games you've got if you put a lot of attention into it, but it usually ends up just being too much and a lot of money wasted if you keep buying games and you're not even finishing what you've got. I don't know, that's just my 2 cents. Hi there, welcome to the stream. Hope you're enjoying it. Just talking about some Christmas stuff, talking about like Pokemon, whatever. But yeah, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. Hey, see, good to see you. Glad you can make it here. Hold on a second. Let's see. Buying all this. Yeah, that seems like a little bit on the excess side, even for somebody who's a Pokemon fan. Like, I could maybe understand if you want to buy, like, Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee together. I'm not saying that's a good decision necessarily, but at least with those games, you can actually, like, get the Pokemon you're missing and, like, transfer them over to another save file. Like, you don't have a breeding option available in Let's Go to get the Pokemon you want that badly, so it's like your only option for that. With Sword and Shield, there's, like, no good reason to actually do that, though. At least as far as I can tell. It's alright. I mean, as long as it wasn't intentional and it's not like a lot of caps lock spam, it doesn't bother me. I know there's people who'll do this to attract attention. Those are the people that end up getting on my nerves usually when they start spamming the chat trying to be an attention whore. It's like, oh, look at me because I'm spamming caps. It's like, those people usually just end up being the type of person I want to ban on site when that happens. Not always, but it's usually just obnoxious. I don't know why people get the impression that when they come on a stream and they start begging the streamer for attention, that it's suddenly going to end well. It's like, we're usually focused on something and trying to be careful about our gameplay and also try to give, like, a fair amount of attention to the chat room. Just by coming in a chat room and, like, demanding a streamer's attention to, like, all be focused on you makes you look like a giant jackass, though. It's like, you're not special, you're not above anybody else in the chat room, so you shouldn't be, like, being like, hey, read my messages, hey, read my messages. Like, nobody is going to be happy to see that in their chat room. It's just, like, probably going to get told to fuck off, honestly. Sorry if I'm a bit of a rant there. It's just annoying when you see that in the chat room. I'm not blaming you or anything. You know that you put caps lock on by accident, but I remember seeing some of this exact kind of stuff in, like, a chat room I was watching on, like, a YouTube stream, like, a day or two ago, where people were, like, constantly bothering the streamer, and, like, few people got really out of line before they got banned off the stream. Ugh. Sometimes YouTube chat can be absolutely awful to fucking put up with. Not very often, but sometimes it just genuinely sucks. Where was I before I got distracted? We were talking about, I think we talked about VR a little bit. I don't know if there's, like, anything else I want to add on to my point about VR. I mean, I'm going to keep my eyes open for when there's, like, a new VR headset, just in case there's something even better on the market soon than like Valve Index, but I don't think there is going to be. I think we probably got like a lot of our best VR headsets released now. Actually, here's another question for you guys, and this is just like a matter of opinion altogether, but like, what would you say like is the best thing to like put your money down on right now in terms of new devices? Would you guys go for VR and buy a Valve Index? Would you buy PS5, Xbox Series X? Like, I'm curious what everybody's thoughts on this are. Personally, I think my next bit of like free money where I can actually spend it without worrying about anything is probably going to be put into savings for trying to get an Index. I don't know if it's going to be worth it, but I kind of want to get a VR headset pretty badly, and hopefully if I can get it working right, I could do like streams of me playing Valve Index games on stream and like do a whole bunch of VR stuff. That'd be pretty fun. Series S. I don't know. I guess it's good for the Game Pass, but every time I look at the Xbox, like the new Xbox, I always end up just thinking like they don't have any exclusives anymore, and it's like I don't really know if this has the strongest selling point, but as far as like pricing goes, I'll admit the Series X looks like it has a pretty enticing deal in the fact you get Game Pass and you can buy like a whole bunch of video games really, really cheap compared to like other options right now. Forza, I think all the Xbox Series X or even like Xbox One exclusives are all up on like PC via the Windows Store right now or whatever now, since Microsoft made like an initiative to get every game that was released on Xbox to be put up on PC as well, so there's not really any actual exclusives left over. I don't know why they did that though. I don't really understand what they're trying to do unless they just want to make cross-saving easier. Actually, I don't know if anybody here can answer this. The purchases over like PC and the Xbox, to like if you buy a game on Xbox or you buy something on PlayStation, or not PlayStation, has something bought on Xbox and has something bought on like PC, does it like have like your data saved and have it like synced up, where if you buy on one platform it's already like something you have on the other platform, or do you have to buy like two separate versions? I'm not actually sure if it's like you buy PC version, you can excuse me, boy, I get my words out correctly. You'll get like the PC version, you buy the Xbox version. If you buy the Xbox version, you also get the PC version. I would assume you'd have to buy them like separately. I don't know how this all works though. Don't know. Yeah, okay, it's not a big deal. I could probably look that up on my own later and like actually check into it. I guess right now, if I had to like look at all the consoles on the market, I think the Switch is probably the strongest offering, but it's also been around for a few years now compared to PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. I get the impression by next year at their big release schedule they have put up with like a bunch of new games is actually met, though, that Sony's going to put some really fierce competition out for Nintendo next year. Although I think that's mostly dependent on how well received the pricing is once it starts getting stocking too. Like right now we don't have anything to really judge off of. Oh gosh, give me a second or two. I'm surprisingly having more issue with like how I'm feeling today than normal. I'm not feeling like 100% perfect. I think it really is just my apartment not being set to a good temperature earlier, but like it's fucking with me and making me feel not very energized. Okay, I got something else I'm going to bring up here, and it relates to what I've been talking about a little bit. I'm curious, how many of you guys have like seen that KFC console thing on Twitter already? I was surprised when I heard about this and found out that it was like real. I remember I just looked it up after hearing about it on a stream. But this year has been really weird when it comes to consoles and like just like strange consoles getting like released. Not even just like the mainline. Obviously you've got Xbox Series X and also PlayStation 5. But then you have this weird ass KFC thing where they posted something called the KF console. Let me see if I can find and like a picture of it really quickly. It shouldn't be too hard to like look it up. It's stupid. Oh my god. I think their advertising was like, it's supposed to be really strong, and on top of it, you can use it to keep chicken warm. It's like, what is the selling point behind this fucking console? You use it for fried chicken? I'm sorry, what? Like, that sounds so dumb. It sounds like it's fake. It's like, what? Oh, God. I just found that really funny, honestly. KFC consoles is the top console in 4K. Incompatibility. Yeah, that's basically what this seems like their advertising is. It's just really fucking weird, honestly. Hold on a second. Let's see if I can find the close-up for anybody who's actually not looked at it. I think most people have seen like a picture of it already by this point, but just in case, if we don't get a shiny, this would be probably a pretty good like thing to use for a profile picture, I think. Not probably the thing for the stream, like thumbnail. Hold on, let's see if we can get this up here. Oh, that's a lot bigger than I thought it would. Give me a second, I'll resize it. Yeah, there we go. You can see what it looks like now. It looks stupid in my opinion. Like, really? Why? I think you can tell where you put the chicken, and it's like, you can see the heater and everything. This is a stupid console. I do kind of find it funny they decided to actually make like a video game console. I bet it's going to be like they sell it for like a year and then they discontinue it though. That seems exactly like what would happen here. Okay, there we go. Finished bringing that up on screen like I wanted to. This year's been really strange. We got this KFC console, and then there's also another really weird revival where Atari made some kind of like new console as well. I don't remember what they called it, and their advertising for it is like based on their old games. I don't really get what they're trying to do with their brand new console and advertising old shit to you. It's like, this is not a very appealing looking console. Bucket. Oh yeah, bucket of chicken kind of thing. KFC is strange. I'm surprised they're still in business. I mean, I don't think they're that unpopular, but like, I know like we had one in our city like a few years ago, and it went out of business and like had to get shut down completely. Like, I wonder how strong their sales are, actually, how popular it is. Doesn't seem like it's the biggest chain. I mean, I guess it's fairly big. I do like their chicken, though. It's pretty good. I haven't had their chicken in some time. KFC's pretty good, though. Oh, man. Give me just a second or two. That'd be another thing that'd be pretty fun to talk about for a little bit. I mean, we can do that if you guys want. Like, different consoles that have been revealed over the years, mainly like flop consoles, are pretty fun to talk about. You've been KFC at least 3 times, a lot of times. Yeah, KFC's, I don't know if it's like actually very big outside of America or not, because it's literally in the name Kentucky Fried Chicken. I would assume that it's mostly just a chain we have like over here where we end up getting most of the people who eat at KFC. I would be surprised if it's any bigger in most other places, though. It's good chicken, though. It is good chicken, but it's also not my favorite. It's still tasty, though. Let's see, other consoles I can think of. It's weird when I think of this, like, I can only really, like, think of, like, a few, like, big-name consoles, although, like, the last few years that have been like flops. I'm sure you guys remember pretty well, but like there's a lot of like consoles over the like last 10 years or so that have been released, like, and they are basically like people releasing new handhelds and trying to compete with the DS and PSP back when they were popular, and most of those consoles have like completely flopped. And excuse me, my stomach acted really funny for a second. That most of these consoles, well, just completely flopped and fell flat on their faces and got nowhere. I don't think there's ever going to be another or like proper handheld to compete with like the Nintendo hardware space anymore for at least handhelds. Like Nintendo has a very, very strong iron grip on the handheld market right now, and seems like them combining their handhelds and their console into like one thing is probably a very, very smart move on their part. I still be one of the first to say, yeah, Switch needs more quality control, though. They need to fix their fucking hardware and make sure the fucking Joy-Con drift problems are fixed before they keep making more stuff, but whatever. That's a discussion for another time. Yeah, Switch Pro would be nice if they'd really sit down and iron out the problems the Switch instead of just like upgrading hardware and fixing anything. Hopefully Switch Pro means a revision of the Joy-Cons, meaning potentially fixed analog sticks that don't fucking drift, because God knows that's the biggest problem the Switch has. The Joy-Con drift is still a problem. Like, how long has it been? I guess about 3 years now. Like, it's embarrassing when your console has been released 3 years in and a major hardware defect like Joy-Con drift is affecting like probably 70 to 80% of consumers who buy the console, and Nintendo, on the other hand, is just sitting around twiddling their twiddling their thumbs, not trying to fix it. And every time somebody tries to criticize them on how this is a problem, they try to deflect the blame over to like, oh, nobody really cares about Joy-Con drift. It's like, really? Just fuck off with that crap. It's like, you make a console, you have an obligation to make sure your fucking console works, not fucking sell us hardware that ends up being potentially defective at like 3 months out of the box. That's like really lame, actually. Hold on a second, let me see. Scratch on the screen. Another. Yeah, I don't blame you. That's probably the smartest move, is to buy like a new model rather than buying another Switch. I don't think it's worth buying something right now, and if you want to get a limited edition one, maybe, but even then, it's like, I don't feel like there's really any reason to rush when there's a very real possibility of a hardware revision coming along. Like, probably by next year, I would assume we might see the Switch Pro. That's assuming it's real, but it probably is. I feel like that's not something that's very unlikely. Actually, hold on a second. I'm trying to think. I know there's going to be something, because you just look at Nintendo's like history at their like different handhelds, and they've always done hardware revisions throughout the lifespan of the like consoles. Game Boy had like, actually Game Boy was originally like Game Boy something. I can't remember what they called it, because I think it was Game Boy Pocket. They made it into just the Game Boy, and then from there they upgraded it to Game Boy Color eventually, and they had the same exact formatting with the GBA, where they made GBA SP and GBA Micro. Like, I think they did I'm not sure, they did a power upgrade, I think, on the DSi as well, where they made it like slightly stronger, and they did the same thing to 3DS. I feel like a Switch Pro is like almost guaranteed to happen when you like look at all their statistics, that they've always upgraded their handhelds a little bit every generation. It makes sense they would want to put out new hardware. Hopefully Switch Pro is actually good and works better than the main Switch, though, because, yeah, I think I can speak for most people when I say I don't want to see the hardware defects that are plaguing the Switch come to the like next hardware revision for it. Ugh. Let's see. I think we're talking about consoles a little bit. You guys remember the Ouya? That was a fucking weird time. I think it's one of the big consoles I remember that was like a flop. Everybody talked about the Ouya for years, for like or isn't a year, it's like a year or two at least. Like, they talked about, oh yeah, this is gonna be the next big console, and the developers were like trying to make it some system for indie games, and the idea was supposedly you could pay like $99 or something to get Ouya, and then you would be able to access a bunch of free, like, actually you did like a bunch of free-to-play games on the system. It was a really, really weird concept for a system. Let me see, I might be able to find like a picture of it, actually. I think Wayne probably knows what I'm talking about, but let's see. Give me a moment. I gotta find an image of it off of Google or whatever. Oops, that's the wrong thing. Okay, here we go. It looks different than what I remember it. Okay, I got a picture of it. Give me a second or two. I'll get this image and let me make sure this address works so I can, like... Or, I say copy image address. I don't know. I'd rather just download it. Let me see. Yeah, let me see. There we go. I'll just do that and put it up on the screen where you guys can see it in more detail in a second. I find it funny how there's like a lot of console... Excuse me, Black, get my words correct again. I don't know why I'm so tongue-tied right now, but a lot of console manufacturers that are quick to rush out and like try to compete in the console market, and then when they do, they end up getting obliterated by all the console veterans. It's like, yeah, maybe not the best move to compete with experienced people like Sony and Nintendo. Like, they seem to know what they're actually doing. This is what it looks like. It's really kind of dumb looking in my opinion, but yeah, this is like what the Ouya is apparently. It's supposed to be focused on free-to-play games. I never really looked into it. I never cared too much, and I think it flopped because nobody actually gave a shit about whether or not this game's console is actually good. Like, I don't know anybody who actually holds the Ouya in high regard. Everybody pretty much makes fun of it nowadays for being like a really bad console. Oh, of course, fucking... this is just the biggest problem with this shiny hunt, that I have to sit here and do 2 Regices facing each other so I can have a head-to-head comparison. There's like no other easy way to tell if the color's different. I mean, obviously there's the shiny sparkle, but it's not hard to miss that if you're not paying attention to it. Okay, where was I? Ugh. They were talking about, like, old consoles. I don't know if I want to talk about that too much. There's some interesting topics, though, when you get into, like, old consoles. Oh, here's something that's pretty good. Maybe Wayne will have anything to say about this. I don't know. So, how many of you guys know about, like, older consoles, or, like, not even older consoles, you guys have played, like, shovelware games on consoles? You've had, like, really bad ones. There's a lot of console... Not console, excuse me. I know what I'm trying to say, but I'm getting my words mixed up when I'm speaking. There's a lot of people who make, like, nothing but shovelware for consoles. Like, if you don't know what shovelware is, which I'm assuming there's at least a few people who are watching who probably haven't heard the term before, shovelware is what happens, and you have third-party developers who... They release, like, new games on, like, consoles, but instead of, like, releasing anything substantial, they'll release, like, really low-quality garbage that nobody actually wants to buy, and they just flood the console and, like, all these crappy games that nobody's interested in. Usually, they release nothing but bad games. Shovelware is, like, fucking completely awful. I've only played, like, so many shovelware games, but every time I played them, it makes me fucking regret even touching it. I think not even, like, most of the big-name companies are completely, like, clear of, like, not making shovelware, because I remember, or on, like, at least the Wii, like, Ubisoft released, like, a whole bunch of shitty shovelware games that nobody actually wanted to buy. It's like, and Ubisoft's the kind of company you expect to make good games. Instead, they tossed out a bunch of really... Excuse me, why am I having so much... It's like gas that's causing me to burp right now. But yeah, Ubisoft, like, they put out a whole bunch of crappy stuff on the Wii. They made something called Imagine Babies or whatever, and it's literally a game where you play with babies. It's like... This is like Mario Party, except just worse. It's like, why? Why would you make that? I'm kind of glad I didn't... Even though I had an NES, I didn't grow up during, like, the proper era of NES games, because if I did, I don't think I would have enjoyed it very much. Watching, like, the angry video game nerd videos, like, I get the impression that, like, being a kid and owning a NES back in the day was probably really lame when you had to, like, be grateful for whatever you got, and you could easily get, like, really crappy games. LJN is, like, probably one of the most infamous shovelware developers out there. fucking every time I listen to AVGN, he talks about how they make, like, really goddamn bad games, and they flooded, like, the NES with all these games nobody wanted to play. And you fucking look at a licensed game, 90% of the time you see licensed software being released on the NES. Guess whose label's going to be sitting right there on the fucking NES cartridge? Fucking LJN, that nobody wants to buy games from. It's like, oh, the fact they were able to keep successfully making crappy games for, like, even until the SNES era is, like, shocking. I'm guessing they died out after that, because I don't think I've heard of, like, any SNES games by LJN, at least. At least not any that come to mind. You want an idea of how bad they are, like... I'm trying to think what's an easy one to recommend, like, a watch of. There's a bunch of them. You could just look up a video on the AVGN video and see, like, some of his reviews and get an idea of how their company operates. I think the TMNT game is made by LJ. I don't think that one's, like, terrible. Let's see. But I think most of them are so bad I can't remember them very well, actually. It's a funny thing to think that I'd forget about them. They're all really trashy games, so I guess it makes sense they'd be easily forgettable and something that most people would probably put out of their memory, like, really quickly. I can't remember any of them right now. I'm sorry. I was going to talk about this subject for a little bit, but I don't know their game catalog well enough to actually, like, talk about it too much, unfortunately, so I can't really say a lot, because I'm not as well versed on that topic as certain other people are. I just know they make a lot of shit games. Another, like, really big one that I remember hearing about, but not through LJN, just like another streamer that I watch. There's one on the Wii that's really infamous, and a lot of people know. They're called, like, Data Design or whatever, and you look at, like, all the shovelware on the Wii. Most of the shovelware is by the stupid Data Design company, and they dump out, like, all their fucking garbage onto it. Like, I shit you not when I look at some of their stuff. A lot of their games are, like, literally, like, just really trash games with, like, reskins put on them, and then they release them on the Wii under a different name. It's like, honestly, when I look at that and see that on the system, I can sort of understand with, like, LJN, even if their games are bad and not a lot of effort. Like, I've got to say, is that even legal to actually put out a game that's just a fucking reskin? You release one game, and then you fucking go and just put a new skin over it, like, change very little in the game, and then you just fucking slap a new name onto it and release it on the same console again? I feel like there's got to be some law in gaming by now that forbids the developer from just taking their fucking old game and then putting a new name on it like that. I mean, I know EA does that to an extent, but it's like, what Data Design did was, like, actually just completely shameless. Like, there's literally no way you can justify that kind of shit. Oh, gosh. I mean, I guess. I'm not really sure. Pokemon does have a lot of the same stuff, but I will admit, yeah, there's a bit of that reskin factor. Pokemon's more structured and giving you new maps and new Pokemon, at least, and works around putting, like, some new stuff in the game, usually. I can't really say that for Data Design's trash they throw out on the market, or at least they did. I think their company might be dead now. Speaking of, like reskin games, if you guys want to see some real trash, like, go look on Steam and, like, try to find games sorting by, like, mostly negative reviews. There are, like, a ton of fucking asset flip games in Steam that are just, like, bottom tier trash. They're, like, anywhere from, like, $1 to, like, $5. And I think most of these stupid asset flip games are just games where you see somebody took, like Unity assets, then they took their stuff they had and, like, made a really quick little game out of it, not putting any care into it, and then they released the game despite not actually making a functional game. They just dropped the fucking asset flip with, like, no original content on to, like, the Steam storefront. It's actually kind of disgusting to look at. It's not something I'm very fond of. Ugh. Yeah, so let me see. And sword and games. Yeah, that's something I can sort of understand. I feel like that's a major complaint that I feel like a lot of people have with the series, and rightfully so, is the fact that they end up releasing the same game, even with like 2 separated versions. It's literally just the exclusives being the sole change in how they actually like, or actually how they function. Like, it's literally just exclusive Pokemon and nothing else. I guess in this scenario, I'm not as upset about it because I feel like they've got it better to the extent where when you want to get exclusives, like the only thing in this game that's actually kind of hard to obtain exclusives for would be probably the box art legendaries. Outside of that, everything else is pretty damn easy to obtain. You just need to have like access to the trading in order to get it all. And you can move stuff by like Pokemon Home, so it's not too bad. It's a little annoying how you have to trade somebody if you want, like, items moved, though. Since for whatever reason, Game Freak decided it wouldn't be okay to have items in Pokemon Home. I don't understand why they won't let you take items on your Pokemon into your boxes with you. That's something that doesn't make any sense to me. I'm guessing it's something about trying to stop cheating. I would assume maybe if they let people, there's probably people who could, like, modify the item data from inside Pokemon Home. I don't know how that works, though. Oh, excuse me, my fucking fingers are aching really badly. God, I fucking remember like a few months ago when I was at the doctor talking about my depression problems before I was got into like therapy. I mentioned how my fingers were acting up and how I was concerned I'm getting, what's it called again? I can't remember the name of the fucking condition. I keep forgetting it. That I've mentioned it multiple times on the stream. Whatever, it's not really that big of a deal. But yeah, I'm worried there's something wrong with my fingers. And of course, being fucking undersighted, I still haven't got my fucking thing I need for my fingers. Like, I think I was got a prescription for a little splint for my fingers, and I have yet to take it down to like actually get it exchanged and get them, and I probably should have done that by now. I hope I can get that later. My fingers have been getting really fucking bad lately, where they just numb up on me and start aching in the middle of me playing games sometimes. I don't know what's wrong with them. It's really, really nasty, though. While we're on this topic, I hate saying this, and it's a little depressing, but at the same time, like, it really feels like the older you get, like, the more your body just starts to fucking fall apart on you. Like, I've had a lot of, like, issues that I didn't have before as I've gotten older. Like, well, this is something I think's kind of been out of my system now, but at least a few years back, I had some problems with my legs before it went away, where when I was running, like, if I could walk fine, but if I started running, all of a sudden, I would, like, if I ran for more than, like, 2 or 3 minutes, it would start aching up really badly. It just hurt for me to run on my legs, and I don't know why. If I put too much strain on myself, it would be actually really agonizing to keep going. It thankfully calmed down. I don't know what caused it or what condition I had, though. It sucked, though. It was not a fun thing to put up with. It was a very, very painful issue, to say the least. That's something I don't love about getting older. Fucking all these issues that come up with your fucking body that you don't experience when you're young. Also, because I'm not the best about my posture, sometimes I have fucking problems and I'm, like, bending down. If I'm not careful, my back will start hurting. That's something that's really goddamn annoying, too. Ugh. I wish I didn't have to put up with that crap, though. Oh well, whatever. I'm just ranting for a little bit. I wasn't intending to go on like a total tangent and start ranting like that. That was my fault. Give me a second or two. So, alright, we've been going for a while. I'm not going to stop anytime soon. I'm going to continue and do my goal that I set like I intend to, but I have something that'll be fun to talk about for a little bit. So, what's everyone's favorite games they played over the year? we're like 6 days off from New Year's at this point, and finally getting into 2021, hopefully away from this awful virus. Like, what all of you guys played, you'd say is like your favorite game from this year? I'm not sure what my favorite is just yet. Like, I think I've got an idea of what I liked the most from on X. That's fair. I would normally say, like, particularly stuff that released this year, but I don't actually care, although, out of all the stuff I have played in 2020, that's a hard one. What the best new game I've played is. I really liked Animal Crossing when it first came out, and I still did enjoy, like, playing Paper Mario, but I didn't really find those to be my favorite. Those are still older games that, yeah, I know what you're saying. Those are good games. Never really played Lumion Legacy, though. I don't really know what that is. I definitely know about Splatoon 2, and also I've heard about Pokemon X, and I haven't played the 6th gen stuff, to be honest. Don't really know if I ever care to go back and try it. If I had to, like, really weigh in, like, everything I played, I feel like, even though it's a weird pick to go for my favorite, I genuinely think my favorite this year would probably be, like, yeah, probably be Clubhouse games, actually. I don't think there's another game that I've actually played this year that I have liked quite as much as Clubhouse this year. There's not been a lot of new stuff, but Clubhouse games been refreshing and like a lot of good multiplayer. Fairly fun little game to play, honestly. I feel like Clubhouse was a very, very big highlight of my year. And also, when I looked at my, like, year-end review for, like, this year, I ended up seeing Clubhouse games, like, on my, like, 3rd or 4th, like, most played game this year. Actually, that's another thing to talk about for a little bit. It's not really a big deal, just a fun thing we can discuss. Give me a second, though, because I need to open something, but what is everyone's, like, favorite, or not really favorite, what's everyone's, like, year-end review from Nintendo look like, out of curiosity? If I can just find where my email or whatever I got. Was it from an email, or was it just this thing on the site I found? I don't see it when I'm looking. Let me see. Let me try Google searching it, and maybe I can find it. Yeah, no year-end review. See if it'll redirect me to my year-end review page. Okay, I think I found it. I'm going to post this on the chat room in case anybody doesn't actually know what I'm talking about and doesn't know their statistics for their year-end review, so this way you guys can kind of post your own if you want to, or, like, talk about it a little bit and see what you have for yours. This is just like, this will show you based on your profile, I think. Okay, give me a second. I'm going to see what mine says. I think I remember most of mine. There's a lot of data on here. It's really neat seeing this. I wish we had, like, a proper log of, like, all of our game activity, though. Like, I remember looking at my stuff on Wii U and 3DS, like, quite a bit, and there was, like, an actual log of, like, games and hours, and much better than the Switch's, like, logging is. I do like that they do this, though, and you can see your hours and stuff. That's something I like. So let's see here. It labeled me as a core gamer for playing a lot of games. Okay, let's see. I need to move my thing out of the way so I can see this better. I got a lot of hours, and it's not even over. Okay, I guess it's still like... Oh, I guess it's still showing hours until I'm done with December right now, unless... No, it's not. Never mind. I think it's... I don't know if it is or not. I can't tell, actually. But right now, I've got 2,222 hours altogether this year. That's a lot of hours. That's not even tallying up everything I've done on, like, PC either. Like, that's a fucking lot. I guess it's not surprising, though. This year's been, like, devastating because of the whole coronavirus situation. I think I haven't added this. I'm going to add this encounter just in case. Give me a second. Apparently in 2019, I played up to 2,162 hours, so still quite a lot compared to last year. Like, I got good 100 hours extra, and this year I played 37 games. There's one thing I don't like about that categorization of, like, how many games it's telling you you've played. I don't like how it's, like, not telling you, like, whether or not you played like new games or old games. I kind of wish they would like specified like you played like this many new games and the rest of these are all games you've already played. Like that would be actually kind of neat to see statistic wise, but whatever, not really a big deal. Let's see. Apparently in 2019 I played 40. I'm actually more shocked that I played like less game. I'm not seeing lessons in. I'm more shocked that I played more games like overall last year because like I played a lot of stuff this year in general. Like I guess I had a really high spread of like how many hours I have based on how many games I played this year. I certainly don't think I bought 37 new games this year, but I could be wrong about that. Let's see. Most played game, Pokemon Shield, with the next one being Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. Wow, that's the shock to nobody. Shiny hunting takes up time. Who would have guessed? But it really is a fucking huge hour sink. Let's see. Then Clubhouse Games in third, fourth is Animal Crossing, and finally Astral Chain. So, got a pretty decent one, I guess. Not too bad. See, I've got a lot of addiction to games I played, though. So what's everyone's like year-end review looked? I'm just curious. You don't want to share it. You don't have to, and you don't need to feel pressured to. But like, you can see your hours real easy, and then when you look down, you can see like your most played games. I like that they give you these statistics. I find it really cool to look at it and see it. Like, I'm gonna close that page off because I don't feel like I really want to have it open any longer. Oh, gosh, I might need a second or two and just in like a moment. Excuse me, my fingers are literally just... I'm getting this really nasty fucking pain coming back again, and it's fucking completely twisting my fingers around in the worst way possible. I'm feeling this awful pain again. I can't fucking get a break, it seems, today. Ugh, fuck. They can't register in... Oh, right, US or Canada. That makes sense. Yeah, I think you're unable to look at it. I forgot that they did that. Yeah, that's something that's a little bit lame that they put it up so you can only see if you have, like, a US or Canada account. This should be something everybody has access to, but whatever. Excuse me, my stomach's been funny today. I mentioned that before. I'm sorry. It's a little out of control with how weird it's been. Whatever. Try to focus on talking. Not think about this too much. Ugh. So, out of curiosity, it's not a big deal, but if you guys got any, like, Christmas money, you guys going to go out and spend your money on anything cool, like, for Christmas time this year? Normally, like, every year, when I end up going to buy stuff, I'll use, like, quite a bit of my Christmas money to either get, like, a new game or something. Always something I find fun after, like, the next day after Christmas or whatever, going out and shopping for good stuff. I'm not able to spend any on Christmas shopping this year because of the fact that I don't have any extra money that I can utilize for that. I have to fucking hold on to it for my phone, which is definitely on the downer side. You get any Christmas money, just actual gifts? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I think a lot of, like, in my family, at least, we see when, like, people are not around, like, family too much, it's usually, like, end up getting money as, like, instead of a gift, especially when we can't make our minds up. I actually prefer to get Christmas money over getting, like, gifts just because I actually find it easier to just use the Christmas money on stuff that I want to buy rather than asking for somebody to get me a gift. Also, the fact if I asked for, like, a game, I'd have to ask them to go after a digital version of the game, probably, and I doubt most people who are buying gifts would probably know to actually go in a store and buy, like, a digital code off of, like, the shelf instead of getting their hands on, and, like, a digital version. Oh, well, not really a big deal. I don't know if I'm ever going to go back to playing, like, physical games very much. I've kind of made a Switch that I'm very comfortable with when it comes to the Switch. I'm, no pun intended, like, I'm very much happy with, like, playing digital games, and enjoying them on my Switch without having to change my cartridges around, having my whole library with me. I'm curious, like, I think I've asked before, maybe I'm wrong. You guys buy physical or you guys go digital mostly? I play more digital than anything because I know I'll play most of the games I get. Sometimes it can be a double-edged sword when you get a bad game that you don't want, though. Physical games with them every time. Yeah, that's one thing that's annoying about it. Also, one thing I like about it, something I find funny when I see people try to get into arguments over physical versus digital is like, why are you concerned about, like, taking your games with you or, like, trying to switch cartridges? Like, because if I have digital, I don't actually have to worry about it, like, actually having the games handy on me. Like, why else do you think I'm buying digital? I can get them very easily and, like, access them when I want to when they're on my system digitally. If I'm buying them physically, I have to keep up with them, even if I do have a carrying case. And yes, if I want to play different games, even if I don't do it very much, like, if I'm switching games at all, it's going to take a bit. If I end up, like, finding I'm at a point where I have to start swapping cartridges, like, multiple times, so I can get, like, different games out and play different games during, like, family stuff. I have a digital, like, game, I can just go and play it off my Switch immediately. I find it weird how people are quick to argue against that and try to, like, undermine digital on the Switch really carefully. I've seen all the times that I meant to say, like, I don't know, I find a lot of people who are anti-digital on this game. It's really weird seeing people get in, like, an argument over physical versus digital, too. Like, I don't know why, but I find it funny how when I go on, like, gaming Reddits or whatever, and you read on, like, the topics, usually you'll see, like, a lot of people who sit there and argue over this, and it's like, who cares? Why are you fighting with somebody over this? It's like, you have your preference for physical, they have their preference for digital. Why should you care if they like digital more than you like physical? Like, what are you actually gaining from sitting here bothering somebody and sitting here arguing with them for, like, several hours possibly, just, like, wasting time trying to convince them that they should buy a physical game? It's like, just don't bother, don't mess with people. It's like, just let them be. You're not actually helping anybody by trying to enforce your opinion of, like, physical games being better than digital. It's like, people will like what they like. You shouldn't try to shove your opinion down their throat. I'm not that surprised that's a problem, though. The internet can be a very, very toxic place. I mean, that's one example, but also stuff like fucking the Smash community who ends up going fucking overboard when it comes to several different things. Most notably with the whole Geno controversy and everybody being very, very quick to fucking pile up hate on anybody who actually wanted Geno, even though most of the Geno fans are, like, relatively calm people who just want to have him in the game. Oh boy. I'm curious, and I don't want to talk about this too much, but I mean, anybody here actually had to deal with that experience? Anybody here actually had very bad experience with, like, a negative, like, not negative, excuse, like a negative experience, like a really, really toxic community in games? I feel like it's something you see a lot when you look around the internet, or, like, communities of people who can't accept other people's opinions, and they end up, like, lashing out and yelling at other people just because they don't want to hear their opinion. It's really, really awful to see, though, honestly. I don't really like it. Oh my fucking god, I thought this was going to go away. My fingers are still fucking bothering me, though. Jesus Christ. Thank God I'm going to be taking a little break for, like, a day or two after today, because I think my fingers might need it, and hopefully they'll fucking stop aching so badly once I give myself a little bit of time to relax. Oh, gosh. Worst case scenario, I'm going to try running some fucking hot water over my fingers or something. Maybe that'll fucking fix them. The only thing I found that works for this problem is, like, fucking causing pain to fucking jolt my fingers into fucking working again, which isn't good. Ugh. Hold on a second. Ugh, I need a moment before I'm ready to keep talking. Whew, fuck. Let's see here. Well, here's another topic that'll be fun. I'm going to move away from talking about games for a little bit. We can talk about some other stuff anyway. So here's something that'll be good for a little bit. So, you guys ever been to any, like, good specialty restaurants? Any cool stuff? I know about, like, quite a few of them that are pretty neat. There was, like, one I remember that was in, like, America, I think in New York, maybe, I don't remember exactly where. Like, you see, like, this, like, ninja-based place, and, like, the waiters, like, bring your food to you. You see people, like, dressed up like ninjas that'll, like, serve the tables, and or just, like, people around the restaurant. And the idea is they try to, like, sneak up behind you and scare you while you're, like, eating your food. It's really, really neat, like, setup for a restaurant. Really, really cool. There's also that medieval times place, I think, where they have it set up where you're actually, like, eating a place that's to, like, mimic, like, something from the old ages. Like, it's supposed to look like it's a castle or whatever. I think I've never actually been there, so I don't actually get to experience that kind of thing very often. Let's see, what else is a good, like, themed or special restaurant that I remember visiting? I feel like Chuck E. Cheese almost counts. I don't feel like it's exactly the same, but, like, it has the whole thing with the animatronics and the games everywhere. There's, like, a lot of stuff you can do in Chuck E. Cheese. I don't know a whole bunch of them by name, and I think there's one called White Castle that has, like, a similar theme for, like, medieval stuff or whatever. It's really cool to see, like, different themed restaurants, though. Usually they go out and make it really, really neat. I think I've seen one where, like, there's, like, one where you see, like, a pirate restaurant, and you see, like, people dressed up as pirates the whole time, and, like, sit there and they try to, like, make the place look like a pirate place, and, like, people dressed up by, like, pirates, and they'll even serve you, like, specialty dishes that are mostly based on that kind of stuff. It's really, really neat. Hey, Wayne, welcome back. I'm not sure what your message is talking about, unless you mean, oh, you're talking about Chuck E. Cheese, probably. No, I'm talking about Chuck E. Cheese, like the pizza place. The place that's like the mouse or rat or whatever you want to call him for a mascot. I think they have, like, somebody streaming on Twitch now for advertising for them. There's been some really, really interesting ad campaigns when it comes to how people handle, like, their like, restaurants or whatever. I remember, like, one I saw in particular on in the matter of, like, I think it was Chick-fil-A over on Twitch recently. Somebody, like, there was a ad where it was literally like a cow with, like, a gaming headset on and, like, on a computer. The implication for the picture was the cow was, like, streaming on Twitch or something. Really fucking stupid, really weird and bizarre, like, a commercial. It was obviously for Chick-fil-A, and, like, at the end of the commercial, you could see it have, like, a little thing where the cow held up a sign that was like, "Eat more chicken." Oh, that's another thing that'll be fun to talk about for a little bit. Give me a second. I guess we'll have to come back to the whole specialty restaurants thing maybe a little bit later. I need to visit more of those places. I know there's some good ones, like places that have, like, a really large burger, and also places that have, like, one place that has, like, a really big pizza. It's like the whole size of a table. Like, the slices are huge, but I don't know of enough specialty restaurants that I've seen before. Can't think of any more. Yeah, Christmas is always good for games. That's something that's exciting even now, is like when you play, like, a new game on, or not a new game, but I guess that's the right word for it. Yeah, you play a new game and you get something you get to open up on Christmas Day and then check out your new game. It's always exciting to go play a new game. Nice. Oh boy. Come to think of it, let's see, where are we sitting at? Another 77 encounters. It's probably not going to happen, even though I hope it will, but I would be very, very happy right now if this shiny hunt could end today and I could get my hands on the Regice as, like, a last-minute Christmas thing. That was kind of my hope, is that I could get my hands on it before Christmas happened. I'm willing to guess that there's a very, very low chance of that actually being the case, though. Excuse me, ugh. Oh boy. I have a bad feeling about this shiny hunt, actually. like I have a feeling that I'm going to end up going like even higher or over odds than I did with the Regice Drago. And that was actually pretty high up there, but not that high. Ugh. So what else are your like favorite like Christmas gifts you've had before in the past, or like new games you've really enjoyed? Like, what's your favorite memories of like opening up a new game and playing them on Christmas, or just whatever? I'm not sure what my favorite is. I remember getting the GameCube being really good. And Mario Kart. Wait, hold on a second. Fucking had to step on the panels, not paying attention. That's Mario Kart. I don't know why you typed that. Whatever the last bit. I don't blame you for wanting to play Mario Kart, though it is pretty fun. I don't really think I would want to get at that home circuit thing too much, though. It seems like that might be a waste of money. Wait, did you get an Xbox One? I don't remember. I think you said you did. I couldn't remember for certain, but yeah, new consoles on Christmas time are fun. I got one on and like Christmas getting a Nintendo DS, and I got one for the GameCube. GameCube I remember being very good because I think Christmas time with the GameCube was like a point where I literally remember that we spent like all day playing Super Smash Bros. Melee. It was just playing, sitting there doing classic mode, break the targets, all the fun stuff in it. Sitting there like wasting time, just unlocking characters and doing whatever and messing around. Oh, you meant to say Xbox One S, my bad. I read that wrong. Yeah, that's my fault. But yeah, it's like I was saying, like, man, that was fun. Melee was something. Just sitting there playing all the single-player content, unlocking all the characters. There was a lot of content there. We wasted like the whole day playing it. Too bad they made some of the character requirements fucking ridiculous. Like Mewtwo, you had to do like 700 hours of... Not 700 hours, 700 like matches in Melee, and by that point when I found out, I was like, yeah, just fucking jump off the level and die 700 times rather than actually trying to play that many times. Got it in 2018. Interesting. Got a new TV. That's pretty cool. It's always nice to have a new TV. I don't really care like a whole huge amount about getting new TVs, but I do like having something nice to look at, and having something better is usually good. But more high definition, usually the better it is to see stuff on it anyway, at least. Are you playing in any multiplayer games with people? Not this year for me. If I was going over to my brother's place, I probably would have remembered to actually like play games there, and like we'd probably played Smash Bros. Some, and I could hook that up a little bit, but as a result of that, I'm not going to be doing anything like that this year, unfortunately. Would be fun, though. Oh, of course, fucking have to get fucking hit and paralyzed like every other time, considering this fucking Regice won't let me run away from it without struggle. Whatever, let me see. Okay, guys, my way switch. Hit some more resolution, doesn't matter. Yeah, Mario Kart's more fun to people. I feel like when you have a crowd of people, it's usually really good, and that's the case with a lot of multiplayer games. Mario Kart, or it's more fun to see like people's reactions as you go through and race, or you go through and play battle mode. The chaos ensues, and you can see people actually reacting to the game as you play it. That's something I really enjoy. Also, Smash is good too. I like seeing people play that and playing alongside people in like parties or whatever. It's more fun to play Smash like a group of people when you're actually not online, but I don't mind the online play. In fact, I like it. If I had to say any game I wish had online that doesn't, seriously, Mario Party should have online by now. There's like no actual excuse not to have like online Mario Party. It's just Nintendo being afraid to take the commitment to making it online. Let me see. So a lot of people you know don't and smash what button smash. See, since Carton likes it, I guess I could see that, but like even when you're like looking at it from like a this aspect how complicated it is, like Smash is really one of the easier like fighting games to get into. If you pick any fighting game to play, yeah, Smash is something you can pick up and play, and you'll have a reliable, easy enough time getting used to it over like a little bit of playtime in regards to literally any other fighting game. It's literally just learning how to do stuff with the stick and like learning how to do like recovery and stuff. Like Smash is very much like baby's first fighting game. I find it funny how a lot of people don't really understand it. I can understand if you get like frustrated playing online, but I mean, at the same time, like, you don't need to play online and play at a pro level to enjoy Smash. You can get a lot of fun out of it just playing it offline, whether it be with friends or with, like, playing it in single player a little bit. I think we're good. Let me see. One thing I gotta say that I don't like about this shiny hunt, as opposed to my last shiny hunt with Regice, is that I'm pretty much forced to go back and heal Regice every time I end up getting it near dead. If I didn't have to do this whole sprite comparison every time I got into a battle, I'd be saving a lot more time, but I can't really rely on like noticing the shiny on my first shot when I can't tell the colors apart. Ugh. Really goddamn irritating. Oh well, not really a big deal, just like something I was gonna mention. It's taking forever though as a result of me having to go heal every now and then. Let me see. It has not even seen. Not all your friends know about Kart is bundled. They smashed. What that? Yeah, Mario Kart gives a lot of ring for that, and Smash. There's the 8-player Smash. That's pretty fun to play, but yeah, I would agree. Like, it's probably not. It's not as easy to get into Smash because Mario Kart you just play. You don't have to think about it too much. I don't have a lot of people that I play games with anymore. It's really just play with my older brother and maybe a few other people every now and then. We're at like gatherings. Yeah, Mario Kart. I figured that's what you meant. I know there's 8-player Smash and Smash as well, but most people don't have like the setup for it to actually play it. Oh man. Sure was I again? Let's talk about some like I think I was talking about Smash a little bit. Forgot what I was gonna say. Whatever, not really a big deal. Come to think of it, like, I bet there's a lot of people who are getting Smash right now for the first time with the DLC. Like, must be a fun Christmas time to get that and play it. Definitely a really good game. Actually, come to think of it, hold on a second before I say anything else. I want to check something. And, like, we're not going to check something. I just want to say, like, C's, do you have Smash? I don't know if you have like, Smash or if you don't. Wouldn't think so, but I wasn't certain if you had the game. It's obviously fairly popular. It's definitely a big, like, multiplayer game. Am I hearing things? I thought for a second I heard a shiny sound effect, but no, I don't think it was shiny. This does not look literally any different whatsoever. I can't even notice like a slight discrepancy in the sprites. Yeah, it's gotta be non-shiny. Thought I heard the sparkle noise for a second. Okay, right, let me check my Pokédex to be safe. I don't think it's shiny though. I think I would have figured it out if it was by looking. I think there's enough of a discrepancy to tell if you really pay close attention. Anyway, where was I? I'm online's laggy, more people. Flawless? I don't know, Nintendo's got some bad netcoding issues, I feel like. I don't know why, like, honestly, that they need to fix their shitty online on some of their games. Like, Smash has some actual serious lag problems, I won't deny that. Smash is a good game, but their netcode for Smash can be very, very frustrating. It's not a fun experience dealing with lag in Smash. Same with any of their other, like, online games that have this problem, though. Like, Mario... It's not Mario, but I mean... And to say... Yeah, now I remember what I was going to say. Excuse me, I got sidetracked for a second. I meant to say in Mario Maker 2, there's also, like, a lot of lag problems, and you'd think with Mario Maker 2 it'd be pretty hard to have lag, but nope. The game still has serious lag issues. It's honestly kind of bad how, with Nintendo Switch Online, we're expected to pay for the online, except they can't get their fucking games to run like an acceptable, like, rate. Whenever you play them online, most of their games are fucking extremely laggy and really bad. That's something they need to work on fixing. I would honestly have, like, far less problem coughing up a new bit of money to pay for, like, an online subscription every year if they just fix their fucking, like, laggy issue with, like, their interface. Like, if they made their games less laggy, it'd be much easier to justify paying $20 a year. But as it stands, it's fucking garbage right now. Online is just unexcusably bad. Ugh, fuck. I guess it's not the worst online I've ever seen, though. There's definitely some problems with it. Single player ran lows online. Mario Maker. Two things can apply to that. For starters, the fact that, A, there's like a problem where if you spam too many entities in Mario Maker 1 or 2, the game starts lagging from not being able to keep up with like all the on-screen things that has to spawn in, and has like too much stuff slowing the level down. That's the first reason where there's lag, but also the second reason is the fact that it's also got online multiplayer, and online multiplayer in Mario Maker is a fucking joke. The Mario Maker 2 online multiplayer is so laggy and so shitty. It's like inexcusably bad. I don't know how the online is like as awful as it is. It makes me wonder why they picked Mario Maker 2 to, or even Mario Maker in general, to have like online support. I don't feel like it needed it, to be frank. If any of the Mario games they were bringing over should have had online, they should have put it into New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. Instead, they chose to make it a part of Mario Maker, which is really, really weird, and doesn't make any sense, frankly. Hopefully the online support for 3D World will be better than what they've got for Mario Maker, though. That's all I can really say on that front. Like, we deserve to have, like, a decent online, and for that game, at least, we should have had, like, online multiplayer Mario games a long time ago. Never heard of that? I thought for sure that, well, I guess you haven't played it specifically, but, like, I thought most people who played the games have noticed how there's an online co-op and, like, an online multiplayer section, like, on the menu, I think. You can, like, select online multiplayer, online co-op, and usually both those are pretty laggy, honestly. They're not very fun experiences for online games when it comes to playing multiplayer. Obviously, the single player is pretty good about not lagging too often. That's where the game excels at, is its single player functionality. But its, like, multiplayer functionality is really goddamn poor. Not that it's a big deal. I mean, I feel like if you're buying Mario Maker to play online, then you're kind of not buying it for the, like, best reason. The real reason to pay for Mario Maker is literally to play, like, custom levels and to enjoy, like, all the huge amounts of content out there more than anything. That's the real selling point behind it. Anyway, I was mentioning some other stuff for a second. Like, I want to say, like, you want to talk, like, really laggy games? Oh, gosh. I remember, like, back in the Wii days when Nintendo first started, like, properly experimenting with online. Super Smash Bros. Brawl. That game had the laggiest online I have ever seen in a video game. It was so slow, so laggy. And if you connected to anybody who wasn't in your country, God help you, because the game would start lagging like fucking crazy and it'd be really difficult to actually play the game. That online was absolutely atrocious. I feel like there's no excusing how bad it was. I enjoyed Brawl, but God, they could have really took some time to refine the game, or the game's online components a little bit. Like, I've got to say, though, it plays like one of the best Smash games out of, like, the whole series. I find Brawl is very, very good. I know there's a lot of people who are going to be, a lot of people who would listen to this and think that, not think, a lot of people would, like, go over and start white knighting Melee because it was quick to, like, compliment Brawl, but I do feel like Brawl plays really good. Also, Brawl has a very, very good single-player campaign. Gotta go. Alright, C's, I understand. Sucks you can't hang out until I finish, but I understand. Thanks for dropping by to hang out for as long as you did. I'll be online for at least some time longer before I stop. I don't intend to stop for at least a while. I've got quite a few things I want to talk about, and still got to tough it out until I get to 500 encounters, hopefully, so we'll be sitting here for a little while. Well, I say 500, I mean, if we get a shiny, then I think it's safe to stop the stream after I finish it, but otherwise, then there's not really much chance of that happening. Let's just hope we get some good luck, though. Yeah, I know. I appreciate it. And the company really does make these streams a little better. It's a lot easier to stomach sitting through, like, playing through all these, like, runaways I'm doing through shiny hunting when I have people to sit here and chat with. It's much less pleasant when it's just me here alone, frankly. Ugh, fuck. I might actually need to get up and grab, like, a water in a minute and just get myself a little bit more hydrated, actually. I feel like my body's bothering me a little bit from how hot it is. Thankfully, I put some water in my fridge recently. Ugh, fuck. I don't want to stop yet, because I haven't even had, like, 2 hours of full gameplay before I take a BRB break, so yeah. Also, I don't have any snack food left right now. I've ate most of my stuff that I've had, like, left over. I had, like, some Cheez-Its. I have, like, a little bit of potato chips left, and I have, like, let's see. I ate most of the candy I've got. I have maybe some M&Ms, and also I have, I think, on top of that, like, a single ice cream thing I can eat when I'm really hungry. I don't have any good, like, junk food I can chow down on right now. Oh man, I wish right now I certainly wouldn't mind eating something, but can't really stop myself right now while I'm still going to eat anything, at least not yet. I need to take quite a bit more in the shiny hunt and get most of my stuff done before I can even take a short break. This is something I don't like about shiny hunting very much. It's annoying. Also, on top of that, maybe I'm wrong about this, but I feel like because I'm sitting here doing the same thing over and over again, it gets repetitive really quickly, and as a result of me continually, like, doing the same thing through the gameplay, I find that I'm getting worn down a lot easier by just, like, being stuck with this to, like, have to find things to talk about. I can't, like, easily rely on the gameplay to give me anything to talk about. Also, I need to do something on Discord that I forgot about in a second, so I'm going to do that in just a moment. Just a small thing with the whole linking the stream. Ugh. Oh, okay, I thought for a second something was wrong. Turns out I just didn't get the runaway when I tried to. Give me a second, I'm going to flip through my thing again for... Oh wait, did I forget to fucking copy the link? That was my fault. Give me a second or two. I'm sorry, this has been a bit of a sloppy stream overall. Not too sloppy, but I'm not really paying as close attention to what I'm doing as I'd like to. I think I'm tired. Okay, let me see. 1 second, and then we can check what I want to talk about, see what's good talking point for the moment. 1 sec, I'm just linking this over on Discord, and cool, looks like it's done now. Alright, let me see here. Okay, here's something that'll be fun to talk about for a little bit. This is just a thing I thought of recently. What's everyone's favorite, like, challenge video type stuff that you guys have seen, like, any good ones from any YouTubers? I know Mr. Beast does, like, these kind of things really, really commonly and talks about, like, or not talks about, he does, like, a lot of challenge videos he does where he'll do, like, whatever, where he pays a bunch of money to somebody for doing a certain task, or gifting somebody, like, a homeless man, like, a home or something, those kind of things. Those are pretty neat. I'm thinking a little bit more along the lines of, like, other stuff, though. Those are good challenge videos, too, but I like seeing stuff where it's, like, try to do something hard. Remember that video they did where they had, like, people competing over an island? That was a good one. Some of them are really stupid, though. Some of the challenge videos you see put up on YouTube. like people trying to fucking eat a chili pepper or something really quickly and like they try not to burn their mouth. That's one I find really dumb. Let's see, what else is there? Challenge videos I can remember. There's a lot of that crap on YouTube. I remember there was someone who made a really fucked up one where they would like lick the toilet and called it Corona Challenge. That's something that's like, why? Why are you doing this crap? I remember like one point where there was like a thing for, what was it? I think somebody did like, what was it again? If I can remember shit. It was, oh, like that ice bucket challenge thing, and then eventually died down in popularity. I still never understood what the point of the ice bucket challenge was supposed to be in the first place. It sounds like a fitness YouTuber. What? I'm sure I thought I've heard of you, like, talking to you about Mr. Beast before. I thought you knew who Mr. Beast was. Unless you're messing with me right now. Like, Mr. Beast is pretty popular because of the fact he's very generous and rich, and he seems to get, like, a lot of attention because of the fact he does, like, a lot of giveaway videos. Ooh, actually, I just noticed I accidentally fat-fingered the plus button there. I'm going to have to be a little more careful not to hit it more than once again. I don't think I've done that more than once or more than a few times, so I'm going to be fine, but I don't want to start counting extra here. Oh, let's see. Can't think of what else I can remember for challenge videos. There's a lot of dumb ones. I mean, I think I saw something like dabbing, too. There's some really stupid ones. Depends on what kind of videos. Two kinds. I don't watch like a ton of videos, so I guess I can kind of relate to that. I don't watch like a lot. I sometimes look at what YouTube will like put out for me to check out and see what kind of neat stuff they have on for like their like main page, like what they put on the front page. That's pretty neat to check out. In terms of, I guess there's also some other stuff like video games too. You see like the challenge runs; those are fun. Mario Odyssey has like a bunch of challenge speed runs you can do for different categories. I like seeing that kind of stuff. It's not really what I meant though when I said challenge videos, but that's another fun thing to watch. There's a reason like Beast to Beast. No, it means, yeah, I don't know what it means actually. I just know he like gives like a lot of money out to people actually. I'm not actually sure what his name was like based off of. I remember his last video he made something where he like posted something where it was like they were like giving out burgers and they opened up a restaurant for a day. That was pretty neat actually. I like that idea, and apparently they had like a thing where you can order food via like a Uber Eats app if you try to order it. I'm going to have to look into that, see if that's like a thing I can get in my area. Probably not though. I just found the idea to be really neat. Another one I remember was really good was like he walked in like the world's largest shoes. That was something I remember being a really a good challenge video that he did where they were like all walking these ridiculously oversized shoes the whole time and like getting feet aches from it. That was really stupid but really funny. It's just pretty much a sign up. Yeah, I think you have to just be watching, and like I think some of it like requires commenting or like subscribing to the channel. I don't know the exact details because I only watch the videos and don't really pay much attention to the giveaway stuff, since it's like there's a lot of people end up like subscriptions on the channel, so I feel like actually getting to participate in the giveaway is like really unlikely, but I guess the chance is there that you might be able to get into one if you're really lucky. Would be nice to have that though. Just mind your own business and suddenly get $1,000 just for whatever reason. Oh my god, I'm gonna take a moment to, well, I said I was gonna take a moment, I'm gonna wait. It's not the time I was hoping it was by now, like 2 hours, but I was about to get up because my fingers are still fucking causing me issues. This late in the stream, I would have thought it would have gone away and stopped bothering me, and nope, here we are. Still being fucking plagued by problems. Ugh. In the meantime, so what's everyone's favorite Christmas movies? I don't think I've asked that too much, but like I asked it yesterday, but I only asked like one person I think and got like a response. I'm curious to hear what everybody's favorites are. I've talked about mine a few times, and I like those. I think I'd stick to my guns and say probably Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and the Frosty the Snowman movie are both really, really good in my opinion. Let me see. In the meantime, I'm going to look at something else to see what else I want to discuss for a little bit. Fuck, I'm having serious finger problems though, and it's getting kind of out of control, and I fucking hate it. If this keeps happening, I don't know how I'm gonna fucking hold on to my controller to play games, because it's fucking bothering me. Ugh. I think everybody probably has at least some issue they have to deal with in their everyday life. Mine, of course, has to be my fingers fucking messing with me. Means it directly impacts my ability to play games, too. Okay, let's see here. I don't know. I got a few things here I can talk about. Here's something that maybe... Well, actually, we're going to talk about something else. I'm going to talk about FMV games for a bit, but I think I'm going to save that topic for a little bit later, instead of talking about it right now. Here's another topic we can discuss instead. So... how many of you guys watch game shows? I think most people watch game shows. They watch, like, any TV, and, like, what's your favorite game show you've seen? There's a lot of good ones that are pretty interesting. And also, like, a lot of them have gone off the air now, but there's a lot of them that I find that are really goddamn good. A lot that I really liked. I think most of them are off the air now. I know that, like, X Factor, like, America's Got Talent is, like, another big one that's still really, really popular. Also, there's, let's see, what is it if I can remember? Oh yeah, Deal or No Deal was really big back in the day. I remember Deal or No Deal would be, like, on all the time, and it was, like, something everybody was interested in watching and find it to be really fun. Like, see what case has all the money in, or see people take, like, an offer. I always thought Deal or No Deal was a really good game show to watch on TV. I thought it was really, really fun to watch. Another one, if I was thinking on it, like, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire is really good, too. I remember that back in the day. I don't think it's around anymore, but I remember I watched that a lot when I was young. I thought it was a cool concept to go on, answer questions, and try to win $1 million. Shame it's not on anymore, but I mean, I guess it had, like, a limited appeal to it. I'd love to see more of it, though. That show was great. Also, there were some funny episodes, like one of them where a guy talks about how much he practices for the show, and then he comes on and he's, like, tired as fuck, and he ends up messing up on the question, like on his first question, answering it wrong because he didn't have enough sleep. That must be really embarrassing to practice all that and then mess up on your literal first question. I couldn't even imagine how bad that'd be, having that on national TV. Probably had people laughing at you for quite some time for messing something like that up. So mess something like that up. So I meant to say, excuse me. Words are not going over well today for maybe some reason. My mouth is having trouble getting things out correctly for some reason. Whatever. Let's see. Deal or No Deal is good. I like the more eccentric and stupid ones, too, sometimes. I was wondering if I could remember what it was. I remember that I liked before. There was, like, you got... Basically, they put you on an island, and you had to, like, survive for a whole month and, like, try to, like, work with, like, supplies on the island in order to stay alive. I think you could, like, call for help and, like, get off the island if you didn't think you could make it, but if you survived long enough, you could actually get, like, a whole bunch of money for living on this island and surviving. It was a really, really neat show concept. I don't remember what the name of the show was. It was a pretty decent one. I know another good one that I remember from a long time ago was Fear Factor. Fear Factor had, like, a lot of cool stuff in it, seeing people go up against these terrifying feats they had to do. Mostly, like, safe, with, like, some way out of it, but, like, seeing people overcome, like, these terrifying obstacles was really neat, and the concept behind it was pretty good. I remember a lot of fun times watching that show. Unfortunately, it feels like with Fear Factor, like, the developer of the show eventually started getting kind of weird and just like putting out really out there and weird and sometimes really gross challenges for no reason. Like one of the episodes is like the contestants had to eat a bunch of eggs or something like that. And it's like, okay, this isn't really based on fear anymore. That's just based on the director having some weird obsession with shit like people eating bugs or whatever, doing gross stuff. It's like this no longer really has anything to do with fear in general. I don't know. Fear Factor was good up until they started doing weird crap like that. Found it to be a very, very good show. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm gonna need a moment or two. Give me a second, guys. I'm gonna get a water. I think I'm gonna take like 5, maybe 10 minutes. I'm gonna use the bathroom, go get some water, and I'm gonna probably try to see if I can do anything about my fingers, actually. I need just a little bit because the fucking finger pain is fucking driving me insane and it's not fucking going away. I need it to fucking stop so I can concentrate on playing the game. Before we do, though, I need another minute or two. Here's another topic that'll be fun to talk about for a little bit, at least, though. Another, like, game show I was meaning to mention, I think. Let's see, what was it again? Mission Fear Factor and... what was it? Oh, I think it was, like... Well, I can't remember the name of the show. Shit. I can't remember what they called it. American Idol. That was a fun show to watch. That was another good game show. That was one I liked. Also, Hole in the Wall was really goofy, where you had to go and try to make like a giant hole in the wall, like you had to fit, or not make a hole, you had to fit like a giant shaped hole in the wall. Season where it was like a human spaced hole that you had to go through. That was something I found to be a really neat concept, really weird one, but still. Also, what else was there? One other, if I can remember, that I wanted to mention. Well, actually, there's some other stuff. We'll probably pick up on the game show topic in a minute or two, and I can continue talking about it because I feel like there's plenty of room for discussion here. Just give me a little bit. I need maybe 10, 15 minutes at absolute most to get this fucking finger problem to go away. I'll be back in a little bit. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. I needed a little bit of time. I think I needed some time to get myself some water, try to use the bathroom, and try to make sure I could get my fingers working normally again before I got focused on talking. Right, let's talk more about game shows. I don't mind. I remember some other good ones. I don't watch them too often, but I mean, I remember Spin the Wheel of Fortune was pretty good. I don't know if that's like a popular game show anymore, if it's even on the air anymore. That was something I really enjoyed. We were talking about game shows earlier for reference for anybody who's watching, and I'm just presuming this for a little bit. Also, another good one, let's see, what's it called? Family Feud. That's another fun show to watch where they try to, like, guess the answers to, like, what's going to show up on the board. That's a show that I enjoy watching. Any other big ones that are really well known? Trying to think if there's any other ones I've forgotten about. Nothing else comes to mind too well. I forgot, what's Jeopardy again? Jeopardy's the one where you answer questions. You have to answer in the form of a question, isn't it? Yeah, that's another game show that I've seen I like. That's that. I can't think of, like, any other big ones. I was mentioning stuff because I wanted to talk about it for a little bit. You see. You're getting Bakugan? You mean the game that was in that Nintendo Treehouse thing that they showed off that looked like it wasn't very good? I'm honestly surprised about that. I mean, I don't typically pick up games like that. It doesn't exactly look like a fantastic game. I don't know. I guess it depends on who you ask. Sometimes it's fun to pick up just a bad game for the sake of picking one up. I think... Shit, did I count that? I'm gonna fucking say... Did not count this just in case. I don't know, sometimes... I don't know why. Maybe it's just me. Sometimes I like to pick up bad games for just messing around with and goofing around and, like, stream it and see the opinions on it, and also I get to play it and give my opinions on it live. I don't really feel like I love playing bad games. There's something fun about it sometimes. Also, it's probably not a big deal. When I look at my, like, speed of this on OBS, God, the speed difference is a little weird looking. Not bad, just looks very strange when I look at my OBS feed versus my feed on my TV screen, frankly. Also, that, like, slightly shaking effect when you get into the battle looks really goddamn bizarre. Anyway, let me see. I'm surprised you're picking up Bakugan, though. I don't know, the game does not look very good. The devs, like, talked about it for a while, but, I mean, everybody pretty much had the same reaction to Treehouse about it looking like it was kind of boring. I don't know if I would want to get my hands on it. It seems like an odd choice for a Switch game to pick up. I mean, if you enjoy it, then that's good, but I'm probably not going to get that game. I'd rather stick to buying mostly first-party and hopefully good third-party games that get released on Switch, but third-party, it's a real hard time telling what's actually good sometimes. Speaking of third-party, we need some more good third-party stuff. I mean, we're getting some next year in terms of, like, Monster Hunter Rise is going to be a big one. Same as Balan Wonderland, but also, like... I'm surprised we don't have Crash 4 on the Switch, for starters. That's one that we should have. Every developer's, like, delaying their games to put on Switch, it feels like, and it's kind of frustrating, honestly. I wish we could just get our games at the same time and get a version that's on par with the other versions, or maybe a better version, depending. Like, I know some devs will make with Switch in mind first, but I don't feel like that's a huge thing, frankly. Actually, I wonder what all big exclusives are planned from, like, third parties from now. See, right now, I think, obviously, it's safe to assume that, yeah, we'll probably keep seeing Monster Hunter as an exclusive. It doesn't have to be third-party exclusive, though. It could be just good third-party stuff. Capcom, their leak is true. Like, there's going to be some good stuff. I wish we had more Mega Man coming out, but I mean, a whole year full of Ace Attorney games sounds like it'll be awesome, actually, if we get good Ace Attorney stuff getting released, like all these compilations, possibly. I want that really bad. Give me a second or two. Need just one moment to look at some stuff. Where was I? I don't see anything else I want to talk. Okay, give me just a moment. My biggest problem is, yeah, I'm not the best when it comes to, like, topics on my stream, unfortunately. Actually, here's something for a little bit. Anybody seeing like really good technology? Like, I know every year we usually see like new stuff getting invented and thrown out on the market. Like any good like tech stuff being done, not even game wise. Just like anybody put any new inventions out that are like really good. I haven't seen anything pop up though. I'm assuming this year in particular that probably not much chance of that happening with the coronavirus. I'd expect most of the inventor types may not be out trying to get their stuff. I guess they could order it off of Amazon, but I feel like the progress of that kind of stuff is probably slowed down this year. I don't know. I guess it depends on who you're looking at, too. I like watching like certain videos on engineering. It's pretty fun. Michael Reeves has a good YouTube channel. If there's like another thing if you want something to check out, like that guy makes a lot of stupid stuff like robots and whatnot, and he makes like really dumb inventions. I find his videos to be pretty funny. I haven't like checked on if he's got anything new for a little while though. I'm about to look on that. He's funny though. He's got good videos. I always enjoy seeing what kind of new stuff's invented. Unfortunately, some of the stuff that people throw out there when they come up with like an invention or a patent, they end up throwing out lame ideas that don't really help any. Either General Bean, welcome to the stream. That's a really long username. A little hard to remember, so I guess I'll just call you by General Bean if that's alright. Oh man. Actually, when we're on that topic and talking about YouTube and what I just mentioned, like, seeing like people who do engineering or like robots or like that kind of stuff on YouTube is very, very fascinating. I don't know why, but I enjoy watching like a video, somebody putting together like a really crappy robot or whatever, and then watching it like try to do something. It's usually really funny. I mean, seeing like somebody build an AI or like build a robot in general or whatever is also really fun, but something about watching the ones that fail and don't function correctly is hilarious. Like, I think I remember seeing one that was like supposed to be like meant for like, I think it's like picking stuff up or something. I don't remember what it was. It was something like it was like a sports one or something. Like they were meant to use their hands a bunch, and it's sitting there like trying to do this one task that it was like made for. Then like partway through, while it's in the middle of working, the fucking hand falls off the robot. I just found that to be hilarious. It's like, yeah, good robot design, your hand just falls off all of a sudden. I don't think it was unintentional. I think they intentionally made it so the parts were just like shitty and it would fall apart. I find that stuff to be like gold, honestly. Oh man. Let me see. Actually, hold on a second. Actually, I'm curious. It's not a big deal. What all have you guys been watching YouTube-wise? I'm interested to hear, like, opinions on this. If you don't have anything you want to add, just don't bother. It's not a big deal, but, like, I feel like this is, since I talked about YouTube stuff, here's, like, a good topic. Yeah, what are some good ones you guys been watching? I mentioned watching Michael Reeves. He's fun to watch. Mr. Beast is also good. If I picked up anybody, like, new to watch, really. I mean, I've been watching some channels, like one I think called The Dodo or whatever, that has like videos on animals. I like seeing that kind of stuff. That's nice to see. Some of the like computer stuff is good. For like general clips and seeing some fun stuff like what's it called? No, Your Daily Dose, excuse me. Yeah, that's the one I enjoy watching. That's pretty good. Same with like Reddit stuff where they post like some of the threads, some of the really stupid stuff that's out there. I find those to be gold, just to watch it and see all the crazy shit that gets posted over Reddit. I could sit down and watch that stuff for like days, just never get tired of seeing all the stupid crazy shit people type up. Let's see, who else is good? Nobody's really bothering to comment on any YouTubers they watch, so I'm just trying to like think of stuff I watch in the meantime. Talked about most of them already. Nobody else really comes to mind, even though I'm sure I've got others. I mean, I've been dabbling in a few, like, SMG4, like that sometimes. I like to watch certain reviewers, but otherwise I don't really have any other big ones that come to mind off the top of my head. There's a lot of good YouTubers out there. I guess there's that YouTube Rewind thing coming up, like, really soon, actually, because I think I remember hearing about YouTube Rewind, and I know it happens every single year, where, I guess, what is YouTube Rewind again? I think it's like they do, like, a compilation of the best, like, different things that they've done throughout the year, like, different YouTubers get showcased in, like, certain videos. I'm not really sure if I remember what all the purpose of it was, though. Like, what are some things they show off at that? I've never really paid any attention to YouTube Rewind. I'm being, like, totally honest. It just seems like a waste of time, in my opinion. Give me a second or two. I'm a little bit tired. I can feel it in me. Also, I need to, like, do some stuff on my computer after I get done, I can tell. Alright, here's something else to talk about for a little bit. There's usually sales going on during Christmas time. I know Steam has been having a lot of sales. Anybody bought anything good? Also, here's another topic that relates to that. Like, how do you guys feel about flash sales? You guys like flash sales? You don't like them? Curious to hear, like, what everybody's opinion on them is. I personally don't care much for the idea of going and participating in a flash sale where everything's, like, on a discount but at a time limit. I find that to be annoying more than anything, where you get to sit there and wait your whole time until you get a better deal on something. I don't know, they're not great. It gives you some good discoverability for games. I like having the opportunity to buy stuff on sales, though. I think there's been, like, a few giveaways from, like, Epic Games or Steam right now where there's, like, free games available. I personally have not been paying any attention to any of that. I don't really mind, but I don't really care enough to go on Epic Games. I don't even know if I have it installed on my computer. I don't really like the Epic Store. That's another big topic that's something that might be a little bit controversial to discuss, but I personally find their storefront to be kind of and they're trying to win by buying out developers with exclusivity instead of, like, actually improving their storefront. I don't even know if there's, like, an actual good competitor for Steam on the market. I can't think of anything. Like, when it comes to PC games, Steam is really, really good and at the top for a reason. I know Good Old Games supposedly not bad, though, because Good Old Games has, like, a whole bunch of games where they're, like, heavily discounted, and also some stuff that you wouldn't be able to find on Steam if you look up there, so there's that. Actually, what are some good game services or good services on PC that we haven't talked about? Like, I know Discord, obviously, is easy enough to talk about. That's a simple one. There's, like, social media stuff like Facebook and Twitter, whatever. There's Steam, like I mentioned, those kind of things. Trying to think on any good ones. Hi there, welcome to stream. Shiny hunting for Regice. Not really had any good luck. We're just talking about whatever. Welcome to the stream. Name is Roma. Well, welcome to the stream. Hope I pronounced that right. I was talking about PC games, actually, for a little bit. Talking about, like, thoughts on Epic Game Store and Steam and whatnot. What do you guys use mostly? I don't really use more than Steam, I don't think. I don't know if I bought any games on the Epic Game Store. There's been certainly a lot of attempts by other people to make platforms on PC, though, that have not really been successful. Like, I mean, Uplay's there because Ubisoft just had to fucking bring up their idea of a platform for their games into the limelight. Origin is the one I think a lot of people remember from back in the day because they tried to compete directly with Steam, and to be frank, I don't think anybody really gives a shit about EA's, like, game service, frankly. Yeah, there's Origin, Uplay, Epic Game Store that I've already mentioned, Good Old Games. I'm probably forgetting some. There's a lot of those out there. Hang on a second. Add this up to my counter. Don't want to. Oh shit! I think I hit 2 by accident. There we go. Instead of just doing the 1. Play Pokemon and COD. Dragon Ball Legends. I don't actually know what Dragon Ball Legends is. I'm assuming that's probably like one of the MMO Dragon Ball games. I know there's like 1 or 2 of those, I think, but I've never actually played too many of the Dragon Ball games. I know they make a lot of fighting games, and I know there's Xenoverse. I think that's... I don't know what Xenoverse is entirely, if it's like closer to an MMO or what. I know it's somewhat popular, though. I think the one I played the most that I played in general is like that Fighter Z game, but I haven't really sat down and played it because it's kind of... It's a little out of my skill range. I'm not big on fighting games. It's still good, though. I haven't watched Dragon Ball in a long time. I remember I used to really be into it when I was a kid, actually. Like, I enjoyed watching it, and I still enjoyed watching it for quite some time, but I can't get the same enjoyment out of watching, like, Dragon Ball Super as I could the older seasons. Let me see. Cell phone game in this year. That's pretty impressive. I don't hear about, like, a lot of mobile games. Never actually knew about this game, and it sounds like it's very, very big. Only thing when I think of mobile games nowadays, which I hate to say, is like, first thing that comes to mind is that fucking Raid Shadow Legends trash that's like on every video, where people keep posting. Well, it's not even like what I was gonna say, like it's technically a meme. I mean, it kind of is at this point, but it's like games creators have had it plastered literally all over the internet through like different ads and trying to get people to sponsor it. It's like, who actually plays this, if anyone? Literally, I've seen more people who've been advertised Raid Shadow Legends than I have actually seen anybody playing it. In fact, the only time I ever see it is when it's like usually people playing it as a joke on like Twitch. Like, I don't know what the devs are trying to do with their ad campaign. The game does not look very good, though. It looks really trashy. I don't think it's a very good game either, from what I remember looking at it, because when I've seen footage of it, it just looks like a boring, grindy trash game without actually any real replay value. It just looks boring as fuck. Ugh. I can say I'll never probably play that game. Ugh. Oh well. Speaking of Dragon Ball, actually, maybe I should watch Dragon Ball Super at some point. I remember watching Z back in the day. That was very, very fun. I enjoyed the prequel series the most, though. Seeing Goku as a kid was really neat. That was one that I liked. GT, I'm not really big on. I think nowadays I can't really watch Dragon Ball the same because the fact that I don't know, I think there's a lot of higher quality anime that are out there, and I've kind of lost my interest in watching the same old, and watching something like Dragon Ball. It's still good, but I can find shows that I'll like more than Dragon Ball. If it wasn't at this point where we have a lot of new shows, it'd be different. Also, speaking of anime, this season of like anime has been really, really good. Let me see. The chat says really quickly. Capture card I'm using. I've got a... if I can remember what it's called. Avermedia... what's the full name again? Live Portable Gamer or something? I'm going to have to check this. See if it's on the card, actually. See if the name's listed on it, and I can tell you if it's there. I think that's something like that. Let me see. I don't see a name looking on it right away. I know wait, let me see. Yeah, it's Avermedia Live Gamer Portable 2 Plus. That's a fucking mouthful of words, but yeah, that's what I use. I got an Avermedia card. Checking my card to make sure I could read the name off correctly. I don't think it was too pricey either. I think I got it like at least like... I think it was like only $200 at most. It might have been like closer to like 50 or 60 though. It's been so long since I bought it that I don't remember how much it actually costed. Oh yeah, not a problem. I don't mind. I've had some mixed experiences regarding, like, capture cards. I used to use an Elgato card for a while, and I had to replace it, and then it started messing up on me, and I kind of gave up on it. I'd hate to say it, but from experience of using Elgato capture cards, they're kind of trash, and they don't really usually work out super well. Like, I don't know why I'd stuck to using it for so long. Switching to an AverMedia card was, like, probably the best decision I ever made. I feel like my AverMedia capture card actually gets the job done pretty well. It's definitely a good one. Man, we've gone, like, really far when it comes to, like, capture cards, though, in terms of technology and how good they've gotten. I remember back in the day, I would get that, like, what's it called? Dazzle or whatever capture card, and I used that for capturing, like, footage on Wii and GameCube. Nowadays, when I look at, like, Dazzle footage again off of something and then look at it, it's like, wow, this looks so much worse than what we have nowadays. Now our quality is, like, so much higher definition, and you can see it so much easier if you use a better capture card. Oh, man. Let's see, what was it? That's something I'm gonna bring out, I forgot what it was. Damn it, I know I had this problem. I mean, capture card talk is pretty fun. Oh, right, I remember what I was gonna say now. I think this is... Yeah, sorry. Words are definitely not coming out as well as they should today. I meant to say is, like, you guys remember back in the day, like, I remember, like, a lot of, like, bootleg setups people did with, like, recording stuff. I've used a lot of different programs at certain points. Like, I used to use Fraps to get, like, stuff like... I used Fraps for computer footage at some point, and maybe something else if I can remember correctly. I don't know if there's a strap on mine or not, but I mean... Let me see. Mine's kind of red and black, actually. Mine's got, like, a very specific color on it. It's namely red and black on, like, the actual capture card itself. I think that's what I saw in my preview of it when I was buying it, too. Pretty easy to identify it, honestly. Oops, did I add that one and, like, add one before I got over to the statue? I think I only added one encounter. It's not really a big deal if I didn't. Oh, man, speaking of, like, weird ways to capture stuff back in the day, who remembers the whole thing regarding unregistered Hypercam 2? I remember that from, like, a long time ago, like, watching YouTube videos, and people would, like, record stuff on their like, emulators or whatever, and you'd always see that snuck up in the corner of the video. Oh, man, those were some interesting days. Old YouTube was something. It's really something that's hard to explain if you didn't actually experience it, but things were different in a, I don't know if I'd say a better way, but, like, you didn't see the same kind of quality in a lot of the videos you do now. It was kind of fun being around, though, and watching YouTube evolve to what it is now. Oh, man. I just wish they'd stop making unnecessary site changes all the time. I'd be much happier if they would stick with something good and actually make the site easier to use. They always change everything. I'm talking from experience. Whether or not you believe me and want to get an Elgato, then that's up to you, but from all the times I've used an Elgato capture card, I've had some struggles with it, and it's not been the easiest time. Whereas when I picked up an AverMedia card for the first time, I found myself using it pretty easily and not struggling too much. It was only like a little bit, maybe, just getting it set up at first. I think I had like maybe one issue with like color looking a little bit washed out, and then I was able to fix that after just a little bit, and ever since that point, I've been able to stream with this capture card no problem. So, yeah, I'd say I'd use this, and it's been better throughout my experiences overall. Oh, lovely. So, I went through all this today, went through wasting all this time, and we got to the 500 mark, and we haven't got a shiny yet. Okay, that's a little bit unfortunate, but I'm gonna go ahead and go heal up and stop the stream. Hope that's okay with you guys. I'm definitely at the point where I think I'm rated and stop streaming just a second. Oh, man. Give me a second or two. I'm just thinking of if there's anything else I want to say before I get ready to stop. I don't know if there's anything else I can think of, actually. I'm trying to recall anything that's on my stuff I wanted to bring up. Well, no, doesn't look like it. Okay, whatever. Anyway, I hope you guys all enjoyed the stream. I'm about to stop in just a second or two. I've been going for quite some time now, and I'm ready to call it quits. I don't like to do super long streams, so yeah, I'm just going to throw that out there now. Anyway, take care, everybody. I hope you all have a Merry Christmas, and if I'm not online soon, then I mean, Happy New Year's, but I'll probably be back on like another 2 or 3 days at most. I just want to take a little bit of time off to rest for myself. I might take a little bit of an extended break to try and make sure I'm a little more prepped and feeling a little bit more confident about my next stream. I feel like today went well, but there were definitely some awkward points in the stream that I want to avoid happening again. Alright, let's save the game. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I'll see you guys in another stream, and I hope you all have a great day or night. Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching. Take care. Merry Christmas.